Hello everyone, Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of words, recorder of videos, and a tabletop role-playing aficionado. Welcome to Patron D&D, where platinum-level patrons and I get together to play Dungeons & Dragons via Discord and Roll20. These sessions are entirely supported by patrons of patreon.com/roguewatson. Patrons also get exclusive access to private videos, custom 5e content, and participate in monthly DM roundtables and these Patron D&D games. These games are not live-streamed, but are recorded for your viewing pleasure. You can watch more D&D sessions, reviews, and crafting streams on my channel, read recaps at roguewatson.com, and listen to all of these shows with the Rogue Watson podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts. You can join our official Discord server with invite link in the description below. Our music is by Kevin MacLeod, and our amazing original character art was done by Jimmy McClure. Welcome to Chapter 6, Episode 4 of our Empire of the Ghouls campaign, designed by Richard Green and published by Kobold Press. This session, I am joined by patrons CT playing Rye, the Shadow Fae Black Powder Sorcerer.
Hello.
Jason playing Zaberi, the human battlemaster fighter/wizard.
Hey.
Marcus playing Davros, the dwarf Geomancer Wizard.
Hey there.
Morgan playing Millie, the human way of the Kensei Monk.
Hello.
Stan playing Alaric, the dhampir Death Domain Cleric/bard.
Good evening.
Previously on Empire of the Ghouls, after meeting new wizard ally Davros, the party threw open the doors of the shrine at the deepest parts of the mountainous island just as the ritual was nearing completion. A Dharakul priestess was using the blood of Archduke Avgos to summon a terrible creature, a worm-like avatar of the hunger god known as Shrigala. The party's efforts to disrupt it were quickly stymied when Alaric was paralyzed by a ghoul claw, and Zaberi was banished to the plane of death just as the huge demon worm began emerging through the portal, swallowing Millie. Thankfully, Davros helped turn the tide. The Geomancer summoned a cascading wave of rocks to move his allies and bury his enemies, buying them enough time to regroup. Zaberi rode the worm back to the portal, while Bond willingly became worm food in order to rescue a comatose Millie and teleport her out of the monster's gullet. The party took down the priest and the ghoulish enemies, and finally, the worm god was forced to retreat back to its realm. In her dying words, the priestess mocked the party, calling the jaws of Artisane but a small part of their plans. On the plus side, it sounded like the Archduke yet lives. With the portal closed and shrine cleared, the party helped themselves to a cache of treasure and much-needed rest before continuing on their journey to the Dharakul City of Vandekhul. So, we can briefly, perhaps, go back to our map to get our establishing wide shot and get our bearings, as we have long rested and leveled up after a very big epic battle in Chandelier Island. And just in the distance, you can spot the shores of the city of Vandekhul. And with his expert navigation skills and having the city visible in the distance, Bon is able to sail your little boat the final miles across the sea. The city's nickname is the Pure City, for the Dharakul believe the acrid vapors of the sulfur sea keep most non-undead creatures away, while infusing their own bodies with healthy necrotic energy. Thanks to the nearby sea, Vandekhul is something of a resort city amongst the Imperium, popular amongst nobles and the Emperor himself, who maintains a lavish palace along the shoreline while visiting. The city is ruled by Duke Moretto Lichmark, rumored to be the Emperor's favorite. Resort city or no, Vandekhul also boasts impressive defenses, guarded by 30-foot-high stone walls and frequent guard towers. The city is also home to an imperial army known as the Harvester Legion, led by Wizard General Smiling Majoret. Along the shoreline, you spot several palaces with pleasure barges docked outside featuring macabre decorations. White marble architecture evokes tombs and mausoleums of the surface world. The waters surrounding the shoreline are constantly patrolled by Imperial ships, and they direct all incoming vessels toward a single entry point near the southeastern end of the city. While you all are being escorted in, if you want to have a chance to discuss your general game plans coming in here. Also, do let the DM, this is very important, when it comes to the magic book you have that can transform people into Dharakul. I need to make sure I'm well aware, because obviously that's going to be relevant going into a city of the Imperium here, which I will share that again. I believe Snips is actually the one doing it, which that's a fun use of his character off camera, is making sure to keep that up. If anybody can find it before I can, let me know. Is it called? There it is. Okay, this one. So I just need to know which one of you are going to be affected by the magic and actually appear as Dharakul versions of yourselves. going forward. And then you can also discuss any plans that you want.
Definitely undercover as a Barnacle.
We have like a plan. Like, do we have a plan?
We have two
Concepts.
contacts. We have two concepts, or two plans. No, two people that we are supposed to make contact with because of our former Ghoul King ally. So we have two nobles that said that they would be able to help us, and Lichmark is the one who's probably got our due. So we would probably need to ask around, hey, can you tell us where, it's like, looking for the for the palace establishment home of one of these two individuals, a count and a countess. This is where I would go, Vaughn, where are your notes? Thank you.
Yep, there's the notes. Thank you. This is from the episode 8, chapter 5, episode 8 recap, which I probably should have included in our recap at the beginning. But yes, whenever you completed the quest for Narrowzane, the deposed ghoul lord, whom you all actually ended up working with a little bit, he gave you the name of, or two names of individuals in Vandekhul that should still remain loyal to him, even though they're part of the Imperium now. The Marquis Laszlo Dimas, I don't know, and Marquess Dorva Greysuture, and gave you all a stone cockroach, kind of a token, as a way to prove or just confirm the fact that you are working for Narrowzane or with Narrowzane or whatever.
Right. So we don't have a resident Emperor in training this week.
Mm-hmm.
No, we do not.
So who wants to be like the chatty one?
That could be Alaric.
I mean, the person who's going to do the talking,
Yep.
find their way around and that kind of a thing. Okay.
Yeah, I think Davros is just looking around like, so, where are we? What are we doing? I'm confused.
Now that the jet lag is wearing off, he's like starting to
Yeah.
realize, like, I'm not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah, I need you to hold still. We're going to make you look like a ghoul here for a minute.
Whoa, wait, what are you doing?
The whole disguise thing, we can give that to you. So you will look, and you'll have some immunity to some of the ghoul stuff, and you'll look like one, hard to detect. So it's a nice illusion. It allows us to walk around in Dhampir territory without being eaten on sight. So if you want to live, take
so
it.
you're saying if I don't, I'll be eaten on sight.
Quite possible, unless you want to pose as Millie does as a slave.
Davros ain't nobody slave. Darkle me up.
Best we can do. Dark Ghoul or Slave.
Those are our two options here.
So yeah, I guess he'll get zombified. He'll take that illusion.
Okay.
Modified.
Yeah, and you literally take on the countenance of if you were a ghoulish version of yourself. Just kind of layered over your it's a magical disguise, kind of similar to like a disguised self or alter self or something.
I would say that like the skin on his face disappears and it's just a skull, but his facial hair is still there, so he still has his beard and his dreads, but it's just a skeleton head.
Nice.
Alaric pulls down his mask. I can do that too.
Okay, put that back.
I think like Scorpion and Mortal Kombat.
The fatality. Is Millie still refusing then?
Oh yeah, she's totally refusing to take it because she loves how she looks. So she's just slapping on her manacles.
Gotcha. Okay.
You want the hat of disguise just in case.
That's probably a good idea. Does it take attunement though?
No, I don't think it does.
Oh yeah, she'll take that just in case. And in fact, she's going to change herself into a younger version of herself. That she's just like, like this petite woman who has like really red hair in a big ponytail, and she still has the giant scar on her eye, but it looks a lot less like it's a lot less healed, let's say. But yeah, she looks like a total badass.
Nice.
The bonnet of disguise.
Traffic is light, but the guards are attentive as you pull up to the dock, and 4 uniformed Imperial ghouls step up to the ship. Their weapons are sheathed, and one carries a wax tablet and a writing implement. And she says, "State your names, your ship name, your business in Vandekhul, and your cargo. You must submit your cargo and your packs for inspection for illegal contraband. If you do not abide by these rules, you will be denied entry."
Alaric will step up and, speaking in Darakul, will introduce the party, the name of our boat, and our cargo. He will point to Millie. And our purpose, tourism.
So I will note, you can do that. At some point during your travels, you find below deck, you do find crates that were full of like hides of some probably subterranean lizard creature or something, but it clearly looked like they were being shipped. And
So
whenever
we are the skin traders,
Yes,
so we
yes.
have skins to trade. So we have skins to trade, and a little R&R once our business is taken care of. And if you can point us the way of Marquis, Dimas, and Marquesa Grey Suture, that would be lovely. The faster we can unload this cargo to one of them, we can get some R&R.
She kind of sniffs a little bit, and she's like busy writing this down. And you see the other ghouls walking along the ship. They allow you to disembark. In fact, they're like motioning you to disembark, and then the ghouls actually get on the ship and begin rifling through some stuff. Now, she does mention that you must submit your cargo and your packs for inspection for illegal contraband. You all may not know exactly what they consider illegal, but you would recall that you literally saw a sign whenever you found the reserve of Ghoulbane oil at the last dungeon area you were just at, that literally had it like, "This is illegal shit, don't take it," or whatever. You don't know if that's illegal here, but that is a note that I will say to all of you. So I don't know what the situation is, like where you're trying to keep your thing. Or you just like, basically picture you're at an airport security, essentially. They're like, "Open your bags," or you're going to a stadium or something. They're like, "Open your bags, we got to search everything." That's how they're treating the situation. So they're not being like hostile about it. They're not like bullying you, but they're just like very administrative about it.
And the lady speaking in Darakul as opposed to common?
She was probably speaking
Undercommon?
Yeah, that might have been
Because
more...
if it's not common or dwarvish or speaking rock people, Davros does not know what's going on.
Let me check and see.
To get around that, I would be repeating stuff.
Right. I'm trying to think if they would do it almost like like places that would do 2 different languages, basically, like a lot of airports would essentially, because the Imperium obviously would be primarily Darkwool, but they work with a lot of folks who are not Darkwool either. So, but I'm trying to figure out, if it would be.
Davros just doesn't want to say something like if he's dressed like a Darkwool and he starts talking at a Uplander accent, and it's like, wait a second, what are you doing?
So they would probably be speaking in honestly probably common. They would probably be speaking just plain common.
Okay.
So when you speak back in Darkwool, Alaric, she does obviously nod and understand it, but she actually sticks. She probably would reply to you in Darkwool, and maybe appreciate that. But you can tell, like, probably they use common just for everybody coming in and out. It's just the easiest thing to do. So that initial kind of speech was probably in common.
Gotcha. Well, I know Davros has a bag of holding. because he doesn't actually have a pack on him. He just has a bag of holding and it, like the robes he came with.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to put the stuff in the bag of holding, so maybe they don't search for that.
So
innocuous.
And Alaric, you especially, you note that you have a
I have a book that I need to keep very secure. Everything else is on my person, so I've got, a couple things hidden underneath,
which they look like they are wanting to search. So you can do that, but it looks like they may even do like a brief pat down, but you can maybe talk them out of that. But I know at least you alone have like the holy robes, like the locket or whatever. Like that's, you imagine that might be. And
I have the book from Sif as well.
Yes.
With the flower.
Yeah. And when they mention illegal contraband, you have a feeling they would not appreciate any of that stuff.
Necklace of prayer beads, holy robes.
Yep.
Wotan. Yeah. Yeah.
You're just like handing stuff behind your back, and Davros is just like has the back holding, just like put it, quick.
Yeah, just shove everything in the bag of holding.
I don't have any bags, officer. What seems to be the officer problem?
You can tell she like sighs and says, looks like some kind of a spellcaster now. We don't need any illusion spells or troubles here. They rifle through some more. Did anybody take the arrows? What were they called? Arrows of ghoul slaying or something?
Yeah, they have the red band wrapped around
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snips has those.
Okay. Why don't you all just give me a group, either sleight of hand or deception check, depending on how you all want to play this. But there's a lot of like stuff that you're realizing once they start reeling that off that you've got that they may consider legal contraband. Anything that has the word ghoul slaying in it would probably be somewhat problematic.
The arrows say like ghoul slayer on the side of the arrows.
Right, yeah. Or? It's like smuggling in like bullets of anthrax. This is not good.
Can I use stealth instead?
Oh no.
I'm not even holding anything, so I don't know what
Zaberi, we're just fumbling with the bag of holding. It just spills all on the floor.
You just have a really guilty look on your face, basically. All right.
This?
Oh man.
Can I use stealth instead or deception?
I mean, you tell me. I guess you're telling me what you're doing, and then that determines which one of those checks you're using. I would probably say deception because you've been the one talking the whole time.
Then deception it is.
Yeah. It's real fucking close.
I'm not holding anything bad, so I don't know what to.
Yeah. One of the officers does seem to find let's say the one of the arrows. Like you're just like doing a good job of slipping through and talking, and all of a sudden like one like clatters to the ground, and that picks it up and kind of just motions over to the boss lady, and she goes over and kind of clicks her tongue a little bit and says, you got some questionable weaponry here. Now, we respect everyone's right to defend themselves here in Vandekhul, but something like this, well, it might cost a little extra to get your security detail if you catch my drift.
That was planted.
We found this on our travels and we're going to turn it in.
Definitely
the authorities.
No, I definitely understand the cost of running a dock. Starting to channel my inner bond of bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is not a free thing, and as a public servant, you deserve to be compensated appropriately. So, would see if I can grab some of the access to some party funds here, and offer about 40 gold, so 10 gold for each of them, and see if that is enough to get them to turn a blind eye to us.
Okay. You offer up 40 gold pieces, respectfully, as you did. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check with advantage as you do.
Okay.
Okay. Your honeyed words seem to kind of go over exactly as she was expecting. And she kind of nods and doesn't ever break like her serious demeanor or anything. And then the one of them comes up from the hold and kind of whispers about the hides, and she says, "Well, I suppose we can overlook this little transgression here, but you do have quite a number of hides down there, and there is an import tax, of course, as you mentioned. So we'll need to tack on another 25 gold pieces, assuming you want to get around the red tape of having your hides impounded and inspected here. It can take an awful long time."
Those were planted too. What are you guys doing?
I don't know these people. Help! Help!
Because of the seriousness of wanting to make sure that we have those that ghoul slaying arrow for future services to be rendered, I'm more than willing to play along with the game and give another 25 gold.
Okay. You do that, and she nods again, and then motions to the others, and they two of them go down and begin hauling up the crates for you, and bringing them up the waterfront towards kind of a shipping area, and make sure to get your information on it, and asks where they should be delivered to. Or if you want, you can take a receipt slip of paper, and they can keep it here for a momentary amount of time. But she does stress that like their shipping lanes, she goes in this long diatribe about how we're not, a storage place. There's other storage facilities that can do this for facility, service for you, and yada yada yada.
We would love some assistance having those delivered to the Marquis Demas.
She kind of raises her brows at that, but nods and makes a note of that information. It is all right. Go check in with the harbor master. You've got a live one with you. You'll need to get special tokens if you don't want that one to get dragged off into the streets and eaten.
Thank you very much. Can you point us on the way? We haven't made this port of call before.
Yeah, she points over, and there's a very obvious, it's really just an open kind of air pavilion set up where you can see traffic just kind of naturally, like a little bit of a customs, choke point or something, where folks can meet with the harbor master. And there is a sign that literally says Harbor Master Cassian Blackwater. And he's just standing up. He's wearing a polished brass breastplate engraved with Vandekhul's coat of arms, which is a bat-winged skull flying above a sailing ship, and a gleaming helmet of bright green sitting on his desk. He receives the tablet from the officer who interrogated you all, and basically goes through, and then kind of, they go back and take care of somebody else. And then he pointedly asks you many of the same questions. It's like, and you can tell he is also, although it's very administrative, he is paying very close attention to you all. He is looking at you very carefully, and really like, getting a feel for each of you as you speak. But he's basically having you introduce yourselves. He's asking you about your cargo. And then notes that he kind of furrows his brows and picks up another piece of paper and says, skin traders, cargo, is only in hides, didn't mention anything about slaves or food.
That counts as a carry-on, correct?
Requires some extra work on our part.
Well, is there any way that we can assist you with that, sir?
It also says here that it was a Captain Mavrin of the Skin Trader. You are not her.
Definitely not. You were 100% correct. There was a problem with the light. Some of the beetles were out. We ended up in these pillars, this like silent bat thing, and a couple vampire bats came down. She got carried off. It was horrible. We're doing the best we can.
Wrapped in truth.
We're doing the best we can, sir. It has been a rough couple of days.
Roll a deception check with advantage.
Deception with advantage.
Ooh, the natty 20. Look at that. He nods gravely at that. Says, dangerous business, the Sulphur Sea. You all look capable enough.
We're trying, sir. Like I said, it's been a rough few days.
You have never been to Vandekhul, then?
No, sir, we have not. We part of the new crew for the Skin Trader. It's our first time. Really excited to be here. Heard there's some amazing things going on. Great place for some R&R.
I wouldn't know much about it. Much of my work leaves me here, but I know one thing. Your living member back there does present a danger here in the Imperium. Will be sequestered to the Fleshling Quarter. And as non-registered guests, although Dharakul citizens yourself, I have no record of you here in the Imperium. Which
pull out our papers from the pit of all flesh. We pull out our travel papers.
Yeah, he looks at that and kind of chuckles for a second and says, yes, that's fine traveling papers, but not for here. But we have a lot of travelers here, and we have accommodations for them. The Fleshling Quarter, the southern part of the city, is going to be the safest place for any living members. And there are to be lodgings there. It is guarded for their safety more than anything else. We'll have to wear these tokens. He gives you these kind of bone tokens in a certain symbol of the kind of Vandekhul flying skull. Pretty cool, really. Kind of like some just rock, necklace, rock star necklace thing on a little leather thong, and gives one to actually each of you. Says you will be escorted. You can go generally where you please, but you will be escorted by a pair of security ghouls, except while in the Fleshling Quarter. We stay out of there. As Dharakul, you have lodgings that you could stay at in the Merchants District. Our Colosseum is quite the venue for entertainment, although no shows going on at the moment. And of course, we have an extensive religious district, if that's your thing. He kind of says that, almost knowing, Alaric, that you might have like a Dharakul version of your, cleric uniform, or more military-esque uniform.
I was like military, definitely not obvious cleric.
Yeah, and I'd recommend staying clear of the Harvester Legion barracks. They do not take kindly to visitors.
Where is that, so we know how to stay far, far away from that?
The other end of the city, the northwestern side. I would also recommend avoiding the bone heaps in the southwest. It's home to beggar ghouls and other nasty things. 'Tis not regularly patrolled by the city or the Imperium.
And how far is the merchant district from the Fleshling Quarter?
District from the Fleshling Quarter.
Do you have a tourist map that we could use? Mark some of these things down.
Yeah, so basically the map you all... Well, you can see this map right now, right on Roll20, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is thematically you guys being handed this map. Now, it doesn't have any of the helpful markers on there, and you guys can feel free to add some on there. But yeah, it gives you the little... there's a little map, maybe like almost picture like a mall sign that's like, you are here, and then here's like the city, basically. Because I thought about leaving it on, the Fog of War and everything, but I was like, you know what? No, let's let them see the full like map picture, and then you all can kind of map things out from there. I can't promise it's to scale at all, but
so Fleshling Quarters down here.
Yeah, so you can literally see that it's all walled off, even amidst the city itself. So yeah, that's what he referenced as the Fleshling Quarter. The southwestern corner he called the Bone Heaps, which he said was a generally kind of dangerous area. And then the northwestern, large-ass building, is the Harvester Legion Barracks. That whole area up there is kind of like the militaristic army section, basically.
Okay. And out of curiosity, do you know where our Marquis or Marquesa friend, what part of town they would be in?
Kind of sniffs a little bit and says, nobles. Nobles definitely don't take very kindly to tourists either. If you have official business, that's one thing, but that's none of my business. You find the nobles mostly in the northern section along the waterfront. You can no doubt see the Emperor's summer palace. Quite the work of art, that one. And of course our glorious ruler here in the city, Duke Lichmark. His own impressive palace.
All right. Well, thank you very much. You've been very helpful. Do you have require anything else from us, sir?
Don't cause any trouble. Should be pretty obvious, but the Harvester Legion is in attendance here, and it doesn't take much for them to haul you off. They suspect any foul play or sorts. Keep it away from the streets, at the very least. If your slave is taken or eaten, then you can always go vouch for your case at the behest of the Duke at Administration Building. But and we discourage anyone from taking matters into their own hands, of course. We have civilization here in the Imperium, you understand?
Yes, I definitely understand, sir.
You are very agreeable. Where did you say you were from?
Well, we've and I'm trying to remember the little outpost where we first came in next to the kobolds. Would mention that the kobold city where that area is.
Okay.
We're from way on the other side of the Imperium. Hence the outrageous accent. My apologies.
And yet you appear healthy and well fed. You have done well for yourselves then.
Well, when we started the journey, we had 12 slaves. So,
also true. No way. He kind of chuckles at that and says, "Ah, yes. Well, we have plenty of that here as well. Of course, if you want to do business with that, you want to go to the meat market. Quite the delicacies.
You are a wealth of information. Greatly appreciate your time, sir.
He nods and directs you to probably the Fleshling Quarter. Because literally he's saying that with Millie just being in manacles, whatever, he's like, you need to, basically you're not supposed to walk around with them. Like, they need to be put in the Fleshling Quarter, and only if you're specifically like delivering somebody somewhere else should they be outside of that area.
Gotcha.
And Alaric, you can definitely have a point of inspiration for all that.
Thank you very much. I'd say once we get out of earshot, Millie, we need you to look like a ghoul.
She's going to cross her arms and look at Alaric.
You want to be like a bird or something?
Hide in the bag of holding.
Oh, that sounds fun. I wouldn't mind being like a Tyrannosaurus or something.
I mean, yeah, but that might, be kind of conspicuous, with all the dead and dark around here.
Yeah, you're probably right. Okay, fine, you can Daracool me.
Well, you could use your hat for temporary until it's time for us to renew.
I like that idea. And she just instantly changes into a Daracool version of the younger version of her, though.
All right. Layers upon layers of deception. As you all start kind of walking more through the city, you kind of catch the eye of a kobold who has a merchant stand and has a whole bunch of pots and is like making stews and has a lot of little mushroom pods and picturing like little arrow gardens or something, but whatever the equivalent of that is, basically just dirt mounds everywhere. And the sign says Zreg's Mushrooms. And you can see him excitedly like waving to you all over.
Davros beelines over. He's like, right. Ooh, what you cooking over here? Smells pretty good.
Oh, Millie runs over there too. She absolutely loves good food.
Yeah. Because a lot of what you've been seeing, obviously, is you get the smell of blood and meat and all of this everywhere. And then there's this kobold like selling some mushroom stuff. So, yeah. So, hello. Yes. Just fresh off the boat, I see. I always try to catch him fresh off the boat. Zreg's Mushrooms, best in the city.
Where are these mushrooms sourced from?
Oh, right here in Vandekhul. We have our own mushroom fields, yes, south of the city.
Ooh, local. Ooh, those are the best. Yes. Which one are you going to try first, Millie?
Well, I really like them with a good kick to them. What's your spiciest mushroom you have here?
Oh, yes. I've got just the thing for you. We've got a nice spicy stew, yes. This one will have you breathing fire like a dragon. Starts like stirring it up and like blowing on it. I haven't had much of a mushroom appetite from the little lords of yourselves.
This reminds me of Zobek. Reminds me of home, back in the Roach.
You know what they say? Nobody eats the one who's feeding them. Yes.
Davros is going to do an insight check to see if this setup looks legit.
Okay.
Because he actually is proficient with cook's utensils and has actually a lot of. He has a pole of angling for fishing, an alchemy jug, Howard's handy spice pouch.
Okay.
He's a cook. So he's going to insight.
Yeah, Millie's just going to down the mushroom right away.
Wait, no, Millie, it's poison.
All right, Davros, you can definitely
does nothing.
You can recognize the passion that is very genuine in this kobold, and the mushrooms do appear to be locally sourced. The actual stew looks okay. Like you don't think he actually has a whole lot of talent involved here, but certainly the passion and the drive is there. And you also suspect that he's not necessarily has access to the best other spices or things involved there, even though he does have sections that are mixing like body parts in there that you've seen a couple like Darakul come up and sniff and eat more of than the actual mushroom part. So legit cook for sure.
I was going to ask if we stuck out by even being at that stand. You said Darkle
Right.
frequent this place as well.
Yeah, they do. There are like sections of the menu that are like fingers in the stew or something that kind of add a little bit more to it. But yeah, and maybe Dark will like a little bit of mushroom occasionally now and then. Can't eat people all the time, maybe. But as you're kind of hanging around Davros and you're really getting a feel for the food and stuff, it seems like Zerg's kind of wanting to chat up a conversation. Like, so, what are you all in town for then? Can I help you find anything around?
Yeah, Davros is like slurping down some soup. Oh man, it's pretty good. Very, very cultural taste.
Ah, yes, I can see you're a real connoisseur of the finer foods, yes.
He reaches into his bag of holding, pulls out the alchemy jug, like
Oh.
swishes it around, pours out like some mayonnaise or something into it.
It's always
Taste it.
mayonnaise.
Yeah, I think that could help. And then
Oh.
takes out the spice patch, does a little bit. Hey, Millie, what do you think about this? What do you think about this?
This tastes pretty good. And she's just munching it down like there's no tomorrow. And she goes, well, I think you could help us find something. We're trying to take down this place from the inside. What's the best place to hit?
What's the most structurally weak point of the city? The kobold kind of chuckles and says, oh, well, if you're in for the entertainment, I mean, there's the Coliseum's always very popular, though no show is going on right now, sadly. We have the Dance Macabre is a very fun kind of a dinner theater that they perform, of course. The meat market surely should interest ones of you all. And if perhaps any of you have a religious inclination, there's a nice little temple section for all the major gods of the Darkul, of course. Oh, and I've heard, of course, there's the Beggar King over in the Bone Heaps. Yes, every city has its bad part of town. Well, that's Vandekhul's. I heard he was once a ghoul lord forced into hiding. Maybe even Narrow Zane himself. If there's one thing the Empire doesn't like, it's the rabble getting organized.
Can you tell me more about this Beggar King?
That's just, I've only heard rumors here and there, you see, but it seems like it's some sort of leader of the beggar ghouls in that district. Yeah, if you could even call it a district. It's just basically the trash heap of Vandekhul. Literally the mountains of bones. But, certainly seems to have a bone to pick with the Imperium.
Oh, I like this guy.
Yes.
Step out of earshot a little bit and over the earpieces say, can we put a vial of some of that Ghoulsbane or Wrathbone's Revenge in some of this stew that's got body parts in it, just to start sowing some chaos?
Do we think that the lady at the dock saw us bring that in?
Saw what? She didn't see a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, you were able to hide that. They found the arrow, but you guys were able to hide the Ghoulbane oil. By the way, you all do have the security. You've got a pair of ghasts that have been a little bit distanced from you, but now you're starting to pick up the fact that they are watching you, kind of like you would have like security detail, basically, that are just people in like uniformed suits that are just kind of watching out. And generally, they're not like ushering you on where to go, but they are following you.
We've got to ditch the two boneheads in back of us if we're going to do anything fun.
We can get them to drop their guard. Get 2 bowls of the finger stew, and walk up and say, "You guys have been working. You guys have been look like you've been working hard. Here's some, bite to eat." Trying to get them to lower their guard a little bit.
This is the stuff that is laced with the poison or not laced with the poison?
Not laced with the poison.
Okay.
I mentioned it. I don't
Yep.
think anybody's actually done it.
Okay.
I don't carry this stuff, so
Okay. For security reasons.
I carry enough enough banned substances anyway. So
Yeah. Roll a persuasion check, Alaric. So you try to get them to loosen up a little bit with some snacks.
So I have a vial of it. How many people have a vial of it?
Millie already chugged hers.
Okay.
So I think you've got the only Rotbone's Revenge. Then we
Yeah.
have the Ghoulbane's oil that we just picked up, which is for coating
Okay.
weapons, not ingestion.
Right. Yeah, that one's for you coat your weapon with it. Okay. They do actually begrudgingly accept the stew and begin to eat it a little bit. And yeah, if this were a video game where you could like track it on a bar or something, it would be like theirs would be going more towards favorably. The ghoul guards will remember that. But whenever you picked up on the taking out from the inside thing, Zreg also mentions like, well, if you're looking for just he kind of whispers, more illicit goods here in the city, hit up Rothart's Remedies, the Merchants District. Rothart is loyal to money, so grease his palms, and he can help you with whatever you need.
Very nice. Do you know much about the noble houses of who lives where, those kind of things?
Oh, I'm afraid Sreg isn't very well caught up on the upper crusty life here in Vandekhul. I don't exactly come down here these days, although, frankly, I think they should get a little nice hit of the more street level culture, if you get my drift. But they're all up there in that waterfront district to the north.
Very good. Well, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate your time and your culinary expertise.
Oh, thank you. You sure to tell all your friends and enemies, anyone really.
Yeah, Davros he'll pay him a little extra, but then quickly realize he doesn't actually have any gold himself, and then reach into the party fund, be like, "Just 2 gold. Appreciate your time."
Oh, very nice, very nice.
How about we head off to this Rotheart's Remedies to go with Rotbone's Revenge? With Rotbone, it's just it's a theme. I think I think we should go. But I am very intrigued about this Beggar King.
Yeah, the rabble down in that boneyard sound great people to be around, in my opinion.
I don't know. I mean, it says here on the map, "Stay away." Like that was where the guy said, "Don't go."
Reverse
Yeah,
psychology.
that's usually where I like to go the most.
Where's the bad
I
part
don't
of
know.
town?
Sounds like the bad part of town to me.
I've always wanted an army. So, to Rotheart's Remedies then?
Yeah, sounds good. Let's see what Mr. Man who has allegiances to money can sell us, or any information he has for us.
Yeah, and if anything, we can just, take him and take all of his money.
All right, you all move towards the merchant district. As you all are making your way through the city, are you trying to, I guess, trying to be more sneaky about moving through the area, or more like using your disguises to make it through the area? You're technically not under like necessarily hostility, but you do know you're kind of starting to build a little bit of reputation, and you aren't a very, you're literally in the heart of the Imperium right here. So just like general traveling around the city or moving, like what's the MO?
Well, I do know Davros
Is it-
isn't sneaking. He's probably noisily slurping on the last little bits of soup that he got. He's not a very sneaky dwarf to begin with. So, I mean, he's not walking up to people and asking them how they're doing, but he's also not looking around, rolling stealth checks, sneaking down roads.
I would say blending in by being obvious, of playing the whole tourist thing, of just being nice to people, kind of like like you said, the best lies are the ones that are wrapped in truth. Of it's like, hey, we're from way over in the other part of town or the other part of the Imperium. Have
Traveled really
never
far.
been to have never been to this big of a city before. This is amazing I mean, just doing the whole thing
The,
of
the
like,
wide-eyed country
is,
bumpkins in the big city. Yeah.
this is amazing architecture. I have never seen anything like this before. Um, you know,
We're the Griswolds.
Yeah, basically. Okay, why don't we have everybody give me a group deception check?
Is it like daylight? Is it dim? Is
we're
it?
So
underground.
that's a good question. You all haven't seen
I mean,
daylight in a long time, right?
we're
'Cause
just with the bug lanterns.
we're still in the underworld, right? And so your whole like day night, what's that called, the circadian rhythm or whatever, is really probably hurting. Especially those of you that appreciate the outdoors. This has been quite the whole like this chapter and the last chapter have been completely underground. However,
What
and
the
you
heck?
you know that Darakul have dark vision. However, similar to the Sulphur Sea being lit, the city is lit, and you nailed it exactly by those. There's cages of those lantern beetles everywhere. Two net ones in a row.
Mhm.
So there are lanterns everywhere, which give off a nice kind of perpetual like film noir kind of dark, because it's just always dark and like lit by these lanterns as you go. So it's very moody. And you do note that when you're here, maybe you've been here an hour so far, and you hear like a gong sounding or something, and you look around, and in the distance you can see a pyramid in the western side of the city. At the top of that pyramid is kind of not a point, but it's like a hollowed opening, and you can see there's a gong hanging from from that distance, and there's like a robed priest just like ringing the gong, and you could infer that's some sort of like time keeping mechanism for the whole city, basically. So it is lit but it's like walking through like a city at night with street lights, I guess, is the vibe. All right, so what do we get? Millie's got a 14. Alaric's got a nat 1. Zaberi's got a 3. Rye is super deceptive at a 28.
I have an 8. I do
Davros
not
is
have a
2.
1.
Sorry, you do have an 8. You have a +7. The natty 1, yeah, with your +7 modifier.
Oh,
Okay, so you turn towards the merchant district, and you see a trio of living denizens almost barrel into you as you turn a corner. They're unarmed and wearing rags, and their eyes are wide, and they've been breathing hard. They look terrified that they ran into you, and they're about to take off when you hear shouting, and it's in common, and the shouting is, "Oi, stop them!" And a second later, a pair of large undead hounds race up to the Chris wants to play Marvel Rivals. I'm doing Patron D&D, sir. And these really badass looking like direwolf size, but with no skin, just teeth and bones. Run up to where these trio is and begin this kind of otherworldly braying, this ghostly howl almost. And in the distance, you can see an armored ghoul come running up to catch up. What is your reaction to this?
Millie's going to stand in between the dogs and the people that were trying to run towards us. And she's going to put up her fists as if she's ready to, punch the dogs.
We have a bigger mission.
These people are in danger. How are we going to save them?
We have a bigger mission. My entire country is in peril. We have a bigger mission.
How
Millie
far away
then
are
takes
the
off.
people that shouted up the road? How far away are they?
So the hounds are pretty much right in front of you guys. There's one. It appears to be one armored ghoul is rushing up, and probably about still 40 feet away, we'll say.
Okay, yeah, they're pretty close then.
Are there any other people on the street right now that we can see?
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's I mean, it's not like a super packed street or anything, but it's definitely like, walking through a honestly, city is probably a strong term in terms of how we feel it, but it would be a city in terms of probably like a fantasy city, I guess would be. So it's still pretty well stocked with people, especially since you're generally in a pretty well-traveled area right here. You've basically gone from the main entrance via the water towards the merchants district, which you can imagine is probably one of the more well-traveled areas. So there might even be a couple stalls set up on the streets, or just generally people walking back and forth. And you do note that as you've been in here, which hasn't been too long, it's about 80% undead, at least.
How close is Alaric to the three people that were running?
They all are pretty much right in front of you guys.
Um,
And they look terrified of you as well, because remember, you all look like Darkwool too.
Alaric will step forward and say stop. And they should probably stop.
Memento Mori, transforms horrible vision of death, rotting and crawling with maggots. Each creature you can see must succeed on a charisma saving throw or be stunned until the end of the next turn. Okay.
That's everybody.
Anybody within 5 feet of me.
Yeah.
So that's why I would try to get close to them,
Okay.
separating myself from you guys.
Yeah, anybody who thinks there would be walking next to Alaric might have to make the save as well.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Davros would have done the Spider-Man 1, where the guy's running down the hallway, and he just slowly steps to the side.
Mm.
And then the guy shows up and he says, "Why don't you stop him?" "Sorry, it's none of my business."
Oh, R.I.P. Uncle Ben. DC 19 is pretty rough for the poor escaped slaves.
commoners.
Yeah. Pretty good roll, +0. Davros, this probably freaks you the fuck out though, because you did not know Alaric was capable of.
Yeah. Yeah, Davros is still mostly just going with the flow. He doesn't really know what we're doing, or
Yeah.
he just turns around and is like, "Oh man, these guys almost bumped into me in my suit. What the?
Yeah, I imagine this is like the Beetlejuice scene where they're doing the scary face. All right, well, you definitely stun some of your party members as well as the trio of folks. They instantly just freeze in place.
Rai goes, "Oh, that again."
Right, which is why I'm always 6 feet away from Alaric.
at least 6 feet, like a restraining order.
I don't see anything about 5 feet on there. It seems to be like everybody who can see you.
They nerfed it. There's an errata.
That's right. Yeah.
Because
Okay.
when we first did it, it was like for a cantrip. That's nuts. And we checked the Kobold Press equivalent of Unearthed Arcana and went, "Oh yeah, that they
Wait,
nerfed
that's
it
a
bad."
cantrip.
I know.
That's a
It's
cantrip.
Sick. Yeah.
Yeah, to be stunned.
with a cantrip.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, and I appreciate Alaric usually actually doesn't even use it in combat. It's usually in these kind of circumstances. So they stop dead. So what are the rest of you guys doing? Well, some of you are stunned, apparently.
Getting out of the way.
Okay.
So, quick question. So, there's a bunch of people in this town that are alive. Just people? Are they slaves? Are they like what is the social situation with them?
Yeah, you've noticed that there are some non-undead people here. You just talked to the kobold, for example. So maybe you're not sure if they have a special visa situation or how that's going down, but clearly there are some non-undead here. But they do appear to be like members of the city and not like traveling through. So you think people that are just are non-citizens of the city, which include all of you, even though you all appear to be Darkwool, you all are not afforded the same self-determination, I guess, quite yet. You've still got those like gassed guards with you, and you have to wear those tokens and everything. But for the most part, it's like 80% undead, and then you do see occasional. The few people you see that are not undead all seem to be from the underworld general area, and you imagine that for whatever reason they decide to eke out their existence here. You also have not been to the Fleshling Quarter yet, which you imagine actually is where the majority of the living members of the city would be.
Yeah, but these people are in like rags or something. So
right. So
they're
that shows off.
prisoners or
Yep.
Okay.
So you're thinking some red flag situation here, yeah. Yep. So you're not quite sure of the context, but like I said, these three people ran up to you. They look like they're terrified. They've been running. There's these undead hounds that chase them down and now they're braying, and you've got somebody running off saying, "Oh, he stopped them!" And Alaric did stop them. So
Your call, Rye, if you want to.
Yeah, so
I mean,
yes, I have an item that we could, throw in on the other side to where we just kind of put them on the outside. It would put the hounds in darkness and put 30-foot radius of darkness, and probably put the chasers also in darkness.
But we have a tail that we have to deal with. We're always being watched.
Yeah.
Also, there could be, escaped convicts or something. I don't know if that's a thing that could happen in this city or in this setting, but, who knows if they're innocent, They could have just murdered somebody. Could have just stole a bunch of money from a boss, and the boss is chasing after them.
Davros presumes
fight.
guilty.
So we could get a reward
There we go.
and get in
can't
good
fight the whole
favor.
city.
Yeah.
I never claimed the tourist angle, but like Davros is actually a tourist. he doesn't know this area. He doesn't know what's going on here. There's gonna be 2 punks running down the road, or 3 punks. Who knows?
Yeah. The ghast are in front of us or behind us? They're behind us.
They're a little bit behind, literally as if you had like bodyguards or something. They kind of stand a little bit back to where it's not like, to where you guys could
My
basically,
bodyguards are walking in front of me.
right. It's to where you guys could have a conversation and they don't feel like you wouldn't necessarily be like like that much respectful distance back, but still
Okay.
to where they're not going to lose you guys unless you take off running or something. So that's like they've perfected the art of how far to stay back from somebody, basically to tail them appropriately. Respectful tails.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
I think
to
this
stay away from
item-
this bench.
Yeah, I think this item could really help us escape, and I'd rather save it for that. Like if we're going to dodge them, rather than use it for this opportunity.
I do want to show you the
So
picture though of the hounds.
yeah, I do think so we stopped the dudes. Millie's blocking the hounds. That looks horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Millie's actually stunned right now because she was blocking the hounds until Alaric came up and used that cantrip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're still
Davros
in
and
the
Millie
way.
are just like, we're just stunned right now.
So
Okay. Yeah, we'll save it.
let's do what? Sorry.
Well, I said we'll save it for later.
Okay. So the armored ghoul runs up and says, "Oh, good one." He's actually well, I don't know if Derek will actually breathe, so maybe he's not panting, but the appropriate where he's like just really annoyed that he had to run after there. Sorry. Oh, these three got away from me. Yes. Just purchased them recently. They looked very vigorous, and certainly were. Had to go back and get the hounds, but thankfully, well trained, didn't rip into them. But you stopped them in their tracks. Yes, good one. He begins having some chain tied to his person. He begins manacling them all up, and they look very resigned to their fate. And he turns and kind of looks you up and down, Alaric, and actually like reaches into his purse and flicks you a platinum piece up in the air. Says, "Yes, that's a good man. Appreciate no untowardness as towards these property of mine."
Well, I've learned that strength of personality can be more persuasive than chains.
Yes.
All I did was tell them to stop. So
strength of yes. Sure. he's like pondering this. Yeah, that is quite the idea there, without chains. Sure. He seems utterly baffled by this. Well then, good chains seem to work though, and he's kind of tugging on him and jerking him the other way. Carry on then. And he turns and he kind of gives a whistle, and the two dogs again. You have this like weird like. Discord's not picking it up, but this like unholy, like eerie howling as they turn and kind of lope after them.
Millie nudges Alaric before we can't leave those people to that fate. Whatever it is, we have to save them. They were just sold as property. That's not right, Alaric.
no, it's not. But neither is whatever they're going to do to the Duke to bring ruin on all of us, all the living. I deal with these
I'm
nightmares.
going to try to save them anyway.
I have lived with nightmares for 10 years. And I've come to the realization that I can't save everyone. But I can make a dent. The Imperium will know that I have been here. My life will have mattered. And the people on the surface may live longer because I've been here. But I can't save all of them.
Well, he said that he bought them recently. Maybe we can just buy them off of him then.
That is a wonderful idea.
Well, I'll chip in all of my gold for it.
When we're finished with this, Alaric, like I think you should like maybe come home with me for a little bit. You know, I think you need like some home cooking and like, you know, some sun.
I may take you up on that, Davros. I just may. I have a stop to make after this first, though. I'll call after the guy in Dhampir.
Okay.
And kind of do a light jog up to him. It's like holding out his platinum. Sir, to give you your platinum back and how much else? You said you just bought these. They've already proven troublesome to you. What would be worth it to you for me to buy them off of you?
Kind of crosses his arms, says, "Oh, it's a deal after all, is it? Well, put me in an awkward position as I was hoping to bring a nice feast home for the missus. Paid 25 gold ahead for these.
I was going to say, as you well know, they've already been running. That lactic acid builds up in the muscles. It just has that nasty gamey flavor, and that's just hell to get out. So I might be, let me do you a favor. And once again, reach into the party funds and give him 75 and buy him off.
Okay. Give him the 75 pieces, and he says, well, they have been a little more trouble than they're worth. Last time I purchased from that damn Dwargar. I swear.
Oh, there's your problem. There is your problem.
Yeah, I just can't trust those folks, tell you.
No. You need to find a genuine rotbone slave. Those are the best.
Rotbone, eh?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard
Absolutely.
that name before.
You haven't? I'm pretty sure you're going to be hearing it a lot soon. So, but yeah. It's over on the other side of the Imperium is where he did most of his business. But I hear that he's looking at doing a franchise around here soon.
Franchise. In fact, that's why we're here. We're scouting locations. Just dig so deep into the lie.
We have the meats.
That's right. Always wrapped in truth.
Always marketing. Always marketing.
Yep. Well, even without Bond, you have successfully purchased humans again. Congratulations. At the cost of 75 gold. And now they're still terrified of you. Always be closing. Yeah. Once you've closed, you got to get out of the conversation though. You got to get out. You're like, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he seems not pleased about it because he basically just got his money back, but he's like, fine, take him off my hands. Too much work. So now you've got 3 people with you. And he does have the paperwork on him because he just bought them, thankfully for you. So he just hands over the paperwork. And they do have, and he says that he curses and says they must have ripped their tokens off, so they don't have the bone tokens on them, like that normally you would have to have traveling.
Well, that kind of changes plans a little bit.
Yeah.
That we're going to head to the flesh quarter as soon as we can and at least try to offload them there so that they have a chance.
Okay.
And telling them in my other Alaric voice, don't run. We've saved your lives. And with a call back to many, many sessions ago, I can always find you.
All right, now you all head over to the Fleshling Quarter, which is indeed a walled enclave within the city that holds all the living residents, either doing business in the city or just for whatever reason decided to eke out an existence here. And if they do business in the city, they actually live in the Fleshling Quarter, where there's merchants, there's lodging, all that. And the quarter is actually guarded throughout the, whatever you presume day-night to be, by the Imperial Legion. So there are guards at the entrance. And they don't actually seem to care when you come in, but you notice they are checking people as they come out of the Fleshling Quarter.
Checking them for what?
You said that the people had paperwork for them? Like, they had, like, papers? Okay, that's really good then. We could probably, I could use one of the papers of these people and then go outside the quarter, outside of disguise, too.
Is anybody, God, this is something I never asked for in a campaign. Is anybody proficient with a forgery kit? Let me check the character sheets.
Nope.
It doesn't really come up very often.
No.
But
I've got a lot of proficiencies. Let's see. Yes, I am.
And I was going to ask too. They said they don't have the badge tokens. Are the badge tokens something that show that you could be around by yourself without somebody being?
It's so that you can be allowed in the city in general if you are a non-citizen and non-undead. Or actually, sorry, if you are just a non-citizen in general, you should have the tokens But you imagine that the slaves would also probably have to have the tokens on them, and you think that the tokens even might have like literally like a cattle brand type system where it would like basically say who owns them.
And if you're not, if you're like a living person, there's a pretty good chance that you are a slave. There's no living people that aren't slaves.
No,
around
not
here?
necessarily. Like you just saw the kobold who was a merchant, and you do note that there are no undead slaves here, but there are undead who are certainly living in like extreme poverty over in the bone heap section. So no, they're not all slaves. There are a lot of living folks, and especially they live in the fleshling quarter, and maybe primarily, eat, feed, clothe, and do all the commerce section for the living population in their own section of the city. So none of those would necessarily be slaves. In fact, probably most of them living in the fleshling quarter would not be slaves. A lot of the slaves would be probably living in the households of whoever owns them.
Okay.
So there is an entire
So
population, but it is a definite minority population of the living. It's like 80% undead in the city.
Okay. So it wouldn't be too crazy to be like, okay, let's set you guys up for like a new life, so to speak, to make you legitimate here in the Fleshing Quarter.
Sure.
Because he's not proficient with mason's tools, but he does have fabricate, where he can like make simple things. So like if they're just in rags, he can probably get like a bunch of stuff and fabricate it into
So
clothes
now
for them.
This is becoming, what is it, My Fair Lady, or what is something where we're montaging like the
This is a witness protection program.
yeah. We're gonna change your life. Cinderella story here. You guys got so
I
lucky
can-
renting to us.
It's like, we have a duke to save. We can't spend all the time here.
Yeah.
I'm okay with dropping them off and letting them live a life of safety inside this quarter. But we have a duke to save. We have a country to save. Thousands and thousands of lives are on the line. I'm okay with doing this much, but we have a mission to do.
Wait, we do? Oh, right.
How
Well,
bad did you get hit in the head in that fight over in the Chandelier Island? No, it's pull him aside. Okay, recap. Duke got captured. Blood of a noble is used for sacrifices to bring avatars and other nastiness from undead planes here, and we need to stop that. So we might have a chance of freeing my homeland and Lucian's homeland and Torben's homeland, and to keep them from annexing Zobek, which is where Rye's from, and Bond's from, and Io's Margrave Forest. We have to save all of that.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
think
kind
I'm
of-
from
kind
like
of
the other side of
important.
the planet. I think I'm from like the other side of the world. This is all new to me. But I'm
Nobody's here for the
I'm all for
revenge.
freedom. I'm all for freedom.
Glad you're here. Sorry, sorry you showed up when you did. Glad you're here.
All right, so
Here's
you
a
three,
thought for-
who wants some new clothes? I got magics.
They appear a mixture of terrified and interested. I think this is all some like weird kink thing that's going on here.
Oh no!
Just gonna
Are
dress
the
up.
Also,
gas
I
still
need for you to
following?
pose. I need for you to do something crazy, and you just stand there and magic. Well, I'm assuming
are
we're
the
probably going to
gas
go
still
somewhere inconspicuous.
Sure, you can find. In fact, there's an inn here that you can absolutely go in if you need to literally have like a room or something. It's the called the Blind Traveler Inn, a 2-story inn that features a sign with a blindfolded man walking through a graveyard full of ghouls. And it appears to be run by a surprisingly chatty male dwergar who owns the establishment. Along with what looks like his much grumpier and also bald daughter, who kind of nod to you all and ask if you need a room or anything, and ask you the usual questions. Hey, first time in Vandekhul and all that.
What time of day is it? Day. Like, how long has it been since we woke up, so to speak?
So it probably took you maybe a hour or two to get to the city, and you've probably been here another hour or two, so it may be approaching probably late morning, maybe getting into noon time. It is fucking with your circadian rhythm though to never see the fucking sun though. You literally hear like this gong in the distance basically, and you think that's going on every hour or so. Look at you casting a 4th level spell. Convert raw materials into products of the same material. You become Minecraft. You can fabricate a wooden bridge from a clump of trees, a rope from a patch of hemp, and clothes from flax or wool. Wow.
And we're doing close.
It's literally like transmutation, the spell.
And luckily it doesn't end, so it stays like that.
Oh, forever?
Yep. There's one that makes it go away.
Like it specifically says, creatures or magic items can't be created or transmuted by the spell.
Yeah.
They had to put in there because a lot of players are like, well, couldn't I just transmute? No, you can't. Okay, so you can give them new... We're literally doing like a montage sequence now. You're giving them like just new clothes. You're the genie in Aladdin who's doing the like, and poof. It's just amazing. Full head to toe uniforms and clothing. Yeah, they think this is all part of the kink thing that's going to happen to them.
And you could make them new amulets as well.
I was thinking about that, but I wasn't sure how intricate the little token amulets are.
Yeah.
If they're pretty...
There's no jewelry.
Well,
I don't know what the tokens are like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like the tokens are primarily for leaving the Fleshling Quarter, so if they don't leave anytime soon, it may not be a problem.
Yeah. At least they don't look like, vagabonds.
Right.
so you're going to give them money to start a new life too? I mean, how far are you guys going to go with this?
Oh, we got 7,000 gold. Here you go. Hey, money.
You shouldn't have given the philanthropist access to the party's coffers.
These people might be able to help us. We could use them to maybe organize a distraction while we're hitting another part of the city. We could really use them to our advantage, especially if we're getting good with some of these folks. Maybe the Dwargar could even help.
That's a great idea. I think we should talk to our contacts before we do anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
Find out what the situation is in the city. Then, yes, these people and maybe the people in the boneyard. Because I would suggest talking to these lords first.
Agreed. So can we try to get to one of them without any other distractions, please?
We don't save any other people along the way.
Hey, look. I will try
Not
to
sure
do
who you're
better
talking
than
to,
a 2
but
on my
yes.
deception check next time. My apologies. The soup was really good.
Millie is going to turn to Alaric and say, "Thank you so much, Alaric. You saved those people, and that was a very good thing that you did." And then she's going to jump up and kiss him on the forehead.
Oh. Has Alaric been
Better
kissed?
than a hug.
He actually winces when you say it was a good thing that he did.
Yeah.
Seems visibly pained by that.
It's edgy exterior.
Now you're going to cut me with that edge. Ooh.
Davros, I will give you a point of inspiration for fabricating them.
Oh, sweet.
Brand new unis and perhaps showering them in a little bit of money. If you literally tell them like, all right, here's some cash, like go nuts, they kind of like, they probably have a mixture of like, one of them like immediately bolts and the other two kind of stay there. Like they think it's somebody a trick. They're going to turn and hunt them down. And then one of them backs up and starts to leave. And finally the last one actually nods and says in like broken Darakul, like, thank you. And then like rushes off. Or even if you ask the Dwarger innkeeper, he can mention that he can always use some like, dishwashers or something. If you're wanting to offload some indentured servants.
Job security.
Yep. All right. So you guys want to go? Let's see, where are we going? Rot Hearts.
Actually,
yeah, I
Rothard's,
think
but I'm thinking we want to get to the Marquis place, whichever is
Yeah.
closer, the Marquis or the Marquesa.
Yeah.
Technically,
so
you
I'm
haven't-
about to talk to the contact.
Yeah, technically you haven't learned their exact locations yet.
I'm gonna ask one of the gas that we've already fed, chatted up. Hey, we're obviously don't know where the heck we're going. Can you point us out, man? Because you're gonna be walking around all day with us, bumping into stuff.
Sorry, you're going.
If you don't help us out.
So they actually didn't follow you into the Fleshling Quarter. Interestingly enough, you do know there's only one entrance in and out, so they just kind of hang by the entrance and they'd have like chatting to the guards outside of there. So if you guys want to leave the Fleshling Quarter and as soon as you exit, which I guess I should follow up and see if Millie still wanted to do that trick with the forged papers, so you don't have to do the Dark Will, or however you wanted to work that out. Because whenever you guys leave the Fleshling Quarter, that's when all the guards immediately check all your tokens and ask you the questions, and you get kind of the whole runaround again. As if you walked back through airport security, like at airport, and then went back through and had to realize you had to go back through security again. They don't fuck around. You're muted though.
At this point, she's so happy that that they saved the 3 people that she actually says, I'm going to follow what you guys want me to do this time. What should I do? Should I get into the disguise, or should I just, go back to my human form? What do you think?
Let's not cause any more trouble. I would say disguise, please.
We can't disguise her. If we disguise her, we walk out those 2 gas and be like, why is she a ghoul now?
Well, no, she was a young version of the ghoul when we walked in here.
A lot happened in the last hour, I'll be honest.
What?
So I think she was already a disguised younger version of herself.
She was disguised younger version, but she was not a ghoul. Zaberi's right about that. She did appear as a manacled slave she had disguised herself but she was still alive, yeah.
I could have sworn she had done the habit disguise again to be an undead version of her younger self.
Yeah.
That was after you guys made it through the customs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a whole conversation about how he told you about having the living creature and him to go to the Fleshling Quarter and everything.
To which the gas apparently didn't respond to.
Yeah.
They sneezed and turned around at that point. They didn't notice.
Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I'll go in whatever disguise everyone wants me to go in, though.
Same as us seems easiest.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and if the guests ask about it, you can either try to Jedi mind trick them and be like, no, she was always a gas. Or, I mean, technically, Darkools can be created from Darkool fever, which spreads from Darkool. So it would be astonishingly fast for that to happen. Because in fact, you've been infected by Darkool fever before, Alaric, and you've had to suffer some effects from it, and it seemed like it would take days to fully succumb. But if somebody was really a weak commoner, then maybe it would take them a lot sooner. We're almost treating it with like Walking Dead rules. We're like, how quick does it take to turn? Like, well, it's whatever the story decides. So you could even make that excuse, like, oh yeah, we just hopped in the Fleshling, which actually, I guess you guys shouldn't have been allowed in the Fleshling Quarter either. So that's also tricky. Now that I think about it.
Like now.
Well, anyway, yeah. Maybe you obtained some kind of special permission. You had to like escort your slaves in or somehow, but that should have been a conversation. I totally missed that. That should have been a conversation that you all had going in there. Is like literally the undead are not meant to go in there. But first timers, and they wave you in just briefly to be able to chat it up. It's really hard to keep track of you guys being, some of you being Darkwool and some aren't. Now that situation's working out.
Well, it sounds like we're all
we're all Darkwool now.
Yeah.
All right. So we're all Darkwool. We leave the Fleshing Quarter. You do have your two Goths with you. You ask them, hey, where can we find those people? And the Ghasts are a little chummier now, and they mention the far north. The Marquis has a home up there. And then they're actually not sure about the Marquess. They think that she actually no longer has a home and that she's on one of the ships. That she just lives on her ship these days. That's actually docked along the waterfront as well.
Let's try
Which
that
one's
first.
closer? Yeah.
Yeah, well, you guys have to kind of make your way up to the merchant district and figure out what you can see, basically. Why don't we go ahead and get another group, a stealth or deception check as you all move pretty far along the city towards the noble district.
Yeah, Davros is going to reassure himself he needs to be more sneaky. And he's going to guidance himself.
Get some guidance in there.
He's like, okay, I got this. Come on. Okay, come on. Sneaky. Oh my god.
He's always going with the nat one here. It's a little hard.
Oh, well, I mean, there's guidance, you know. Let's see what
That 14 stealth of Alaric is with a plus 12.
Yeah, that's painful.
I got a 4, you know.
Okay.
He's like saying it out loud. It's like, okay, sneaky. Okay, okay. Inconspicuous.
Does magical guidance apply here if I wanted to change to 13?
If you you have a different thing. You tap into your magic wellspring, try to conjure success from failure, and you make an ability check that fails. You can spend one source from your roll. Yes, that would be potentially a good use of that here, as you see the rest of your.
Oh my god!
With a plus 9 too. You guys are really struggling just getting around this, which it's pretty creepy. This is unlike anything any of you have ever done. Even those of you that have been through the underworld now. You've not been in an actual like city of the Imperium. Very few living creatures have ever been into the Imperium itself. So this is a totally foreign concept. You're seeing like Darkwool walking around, ghouls like just sitting in the streets, and it all appears somewhat civilized, but also there's still a lot of like shouting and fighting going on in certain areas. You get kind of a little twinge of the fascist like goose steppers with the Imperial Legion kind of coming by stormtrooper style once in a while. In fact, as you all are nearing the noble district here, you definitely spot a patrol of these armored and uniformed guards, which you recognize as the Harvester Legion. And there's like half a dozen of them that march up to you all and like demand to see your registration papers, or and of course you can flash your bone tokens as well, which they look at and then kind of give you the more like dress down and kind of bark at you about what you're doing here and your names. And at this point you're getting, I don't want to presume anything, but you're getting the runaround yet again, basically. Some of you may love the bureaucracy if Bond were here.
I'm trying to channel my inner bond, so
yeah,
it's because I was with him when he went through the bureaucracy stuff
in the outpost. Yes, yeah, you were taking notes, and you've been pretty acquiescing so far about having the rundown so far. Zaberi, how do you feel about having all these giant like guards in your face?
Sorry, what?
Basically, you were coming. Go ahead.
Again?
As you all were coming down the street, you see like a half a dozen of one of these like armored patrols, and they just kind of come up to you and begin like demanding to see your papers and asking you pointed questions about what are you doing here, where are you going, what's your business.
Can be pretty patient about it because she doesn't want to start a fight.
Okay.
I mean, she wants to fight, but she just wants to fight the whole damn city.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If this goes sideways, we're burning the sucker down.
Yeah, exactly.
Once
a fight starts, she doesn't really have any other options. She's not much of a hider.
You get the feeling without rolling an insight check or something that they are kind of waiting around for something as they begin like talking about maybe your, something's wrong with your outfit or you've got too much materials on you for mere travelers or all this kind of thing.
Davros would be quiet until they start talking smack because he's always kind of grumbly.
Yeah.
They start saying, "Hey, what's wrong with the short one over here?" He's like, "Hey, you take that back."
So I took that personally.
Just because your mama doesn't know how to treat people doesn't mean you can go around doing this too. I should know because I saw her last night.
Start giving it right back.
Alaric picking up on this is money is a tool at this point. I'm not trying to keep a hold of any of it. It's like, hey, if there is a sergeant or somebody who's leading this, reach in and just it's like drop 10 gold.
Hey, no, these assholes don't need no money. No, don't give them nothing. Although, actually, no, give him the money. Look at that. Look at his clothes. His clothes suck too. He needs to go to the store.
Davros, roll an intimidation check.
Yeah, he doesn't appreciate being pushed around.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
17.
Yeah, you give it to him, and you can see that the head ghoul actually steps back a little bit. And you can tell that either not maybe used to getting it thrown back at him, or maybe is just impressed by your boldness. But he steps back and huffs, and finally gives back your paperwork and grumbles about tourists, basically foreigners, and kind of whistles and makes his troops. He does the equivalent of peeling out, but with his feet, just like.
Davros coughs. He's like, "That's not that
good." The very dramatic turn. Yeah, kicks up the dust as he fucking turns and moves out of there with his troops. Yep. As you all make your way officially into the merchant district, here you can see appear to be very lavish palaces and very nice homes and buildings. Definitely an increased presence of security up here. It's not really walled or formally. There weren't guards like there were the Fleshling Quarter, but you just note that there's fewer rabble on the streets and more security presence and that kind of a thing. As you make your way up, and honestly, you can see your gassed bodyguards does kind of point out a building to the north as being the Marquis Demas's residence, and then you can also see a ship, pretty much one of the few ships in the merchant district, this kind of large pleasure barge that is docked off, and one of them then is not sure, but did hear that the Marquess just lives on a nice ship. So those are your options. And I think with that, we're going to take our break, and we will meet up with one or both of our contacts when we come back after about 10 minutes.
Sweet.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, did you all decide which of these contacts you wanted to hit up first? They're kind of actually both pretty close to each other. They pointed out that
Zaberi said the boat.
You want to do the boat?
I suggest the boat. The boat, just because if she's lost her house, sounds like there's something going on there. Maybe might be a little bit more approachable.
Yeah.
Okay. yeah, you all make your way over to the ship, and it's about an 80-foot long, described as maybe a floating palace. Honestly, now that you get close to it, has an ornate central structure that's like built up like a multi-story building with like a pagoda on top, and the figurehead appears to be made from the bones of a giant dragon. A gangplank leads from the jetty to the dock, covered by an awning of black velvet trimmed with gold tassels, and a pair of ghouls in footmen's uniforms and powdered wigs stand guard.
We'll walk up to them, just kind of give the nod the head, and here to see the Marquesa.
And who are you to call upon the Marquez Adorva Grey Suture?
So many different ways of answering this. Say, formerly known as Alaric Varosin of the Fourth Hussars.
It kind of stares at you blankly. Does the Marquez have an appointment with you then?
She will very much want to speak with us.
He kind of sniffs and kind of looks down his nose. I highly doubt that. This is most unusual business. Meetings are done through intermediaries. You here on behalf of someone.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I am. And this is well above your pay grade. I suggest you take us to her. Now.
Getting a little impatient, aren't we? But not making it on this boat without giving the Marquesa proper introduction and reasoning. There are protocol to follow here.
Our
Don't we have a
name and our
little doodad or something?
I don't want to show it to a rank and file ghoul, not out in the public like this.
Millie's just going to kind of sneak off to the side of the boat out of view of the footmen, and then she's just going to run across the water and onto the back side of the boat and climb up the side.
Give me a stealth check, please.
You got it?
You said these are just rank and file ghouls, right?
Yeah, they appear to be all uniformed up and everything, but
Ooh.
they don't appear to be
Oh.
super powerful. All right, Millie. You're jumping into the water. You kind of go, a far distance away, and then jump over to the water. And one of the ghouls glances over and immediately reacts like, "Good heavens! What is this all about? With one of them is dropped into the water." And yet...
I fell! Darn! I'll get back up on the shore now!
This is most irregular. This is not where the pleasure baths are. This is...
I'm gonna step up. I'm gonna step up right close to them, making sure I am 6 feet or more away from my party member.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do memento mori.
Okay. This is the charisma.
Yeah, DC 19.
Somebody's mechanical keyboard is
it is
noticeably loud.
Yeah, I usually mute. Sorry, that's my fault.
It's okay. I was like, who is it?
I don't actually think they can make this save with a -2. No, they definitely cannot. All right, so they stand there slack-jawed and stunned for looks like a
For 6 seconds.
round.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give everybody a chance to react to what's going on right now. We're kind of slowing things down a bit with Millie having drawn the attention of the uniformed ghouls. Basically on the picture just a gangplank, I guess, that's all gussied up, and they're just kind of at the end of it. So you haven't gotten onto the ship yet. You're still on the dock trying to get on the ship. So Millie is in the water, briefly faking having accidentally fallen into the water. And then Alaric has done his spooky face thing, which the rest of you... So we've got Rye, Zaberi, and Davros. You see all of this transpire. So it's the three of you that really get a chance to react to this chain of events, I guess. And you still have your bodyguard ghasts nearby as well.
Mm-hmm. But Davros is going to assume this is an intimidation trick. So he's not going to do anything rash. He's not going to start throwing spells around except for the prestidigitation to clean Millie off. But he's going to follow Alaric's lead on this one. I'm assuming he has a plan. He seems to be pretty smart and on top of things.
Right.
Let's hope.
Rye's going to talk to the two gas guards and like point in a direction away from the boat or away from the ship. I was like, "Hey, what do you know about that building over there?" Kind of like a distraction type of thing. Because his when I'm like, "Do the face thing," he doesn't. That doesn't make any noise or anything, so he wouldn't.
Right.
If they instant stun, then
right.
Still no like glaring alarm. So just kind of trying to attempt to distract the our guard, so to speak, innocently.
Just an innocuous distraction. Go ahead and roll a deception check.
Sure.
And Zaberi, what did you want to be doing right now as well?
I'm just gonna look at Alaric. Like, are you gonna do something? Because if you're not, I am. And not like an attack. I mean, like more like you wouldn't know.
Okay.
Right.
No.
Like
she's gonna talk.
Like can stun ghouls swim?
No.
Like a
Google,
David Letterman
Googling can stun ghouls.
Never mind. She's not gonna look at Alaric. She's just gonna lean over to the stun guys and wait for them to become unstunned. Stun people here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yep. While they're stunned, she's going to lean over and in like one of their ears, she's going to intimidate, and she's going to say, "If you don't let us in." What is the woman's name again?
The Marquesa.
The Marquesa Dorva Grey Suture.
Okay, the Marquesa will be not impressed when she finds out what we have for her. And I want to try and intimidate them, let us in.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an intimidation check, and I will give you advantage because they are freaked out from Alaric.
I'm also going to use something I haven't had a chance to use yet.
Ooh.
Just commanding presence.
Oh.
Use a security die and add a spirit die on top of this check. So it's going to be fun.
Nice.
Thank you for the advantage. So 18 plus 4. 22.
Okay.
Nice.
This was a very quick, like, you guys had no plan for this, but you're performing admirably with Rye helping to point out some other, which thankfully there's a lot of interesting architecture and buildings in this area. You are literally in the noble district, so just helping distract your bodyguards while Alaric is freaking them out, and then Zaberi leans in and literally whispers, and you get the feeling that with Darkcool, even though you're all being, for the most part, pretty acquiescing, especially as you just saw earlier with Davros's interaction with the Imperial Army, that actually Darkcool can get away with being huge dicks to each other. And it almost becomes like that's almost the expected response in some ways, is like they're just each of them like one-upping each other and bullying each other almost. So that actually effect goes off pretty well. That combination of Alaric and Zaberi on the guards. And then I think it actually mentions, Alaric, that it's until the end of your next turn. So I will give you a chance to come out of it and take like an action's worth of something if you would like.
Yeah, and as Zabiri did, kind of that was the plan of to stun and lean forward. You can let us on there. Do not disappoint your mistress. Let us pass.
Okay.
You could have been destroyed here and now. We want to speak with the Marquesa. We want no further trouble.
One of them turns to the other one and says, "Clearly they are of some import. The Marquess will certainly want to know of them." And the other one just kind of is a little more freaked out and shaken and nods and then turns and ducks and asks again, like real quickly, about your names, I guess, to make sure that he's got the details right, and then quickly disappears. And then the other one's just kind of awkwardly standing there and then glances up. So, Millie, how long do you like fake drown for? You're still muted. You keep casting silence on yourself.
Yeah, she goes down and then she just says, "Oh no, I've fallen," and then she just like runs up the shore again, back up.
Yeah, at some point, while like the ghoul's like not looking, like someone says, "Oh, it's apparently they're fine. That one has never seen a." You do know that we do have pleasure baths for the Sulphur Sea. We know that a lot of visitors are excited about getting their necromantic humors in order. But please, this is not the place for that. And then after a few moments, the other one comes in and just kind of looks embarrassed. Yes, the Marquesa would receive you now.
Very, very formally in return, give him a little head nod. Say, thank you. I appreciate your patience, understanding.
And as you walk in, you actually note that the your gassed bodyguards, they actually stay behind on the gangplank. They don't necessarily follow you in, but you do note that there are many ghouls aboard this ship. They all look like they're staff, basically, but you know there's one or two that are like fully armed and look more like, bodyguard security types that are kind of eyeing you warily. But there's definitely, the ship definitely has a crew with it. And you are led to that kind of central building area, and inside is a lavish dining room with or maybe a meeting room of some sort, like an office room. There's candelabras made from bone, expensive plates and cutlery, and you are invited to sit at this kind of long dining table. And as you do, and you still haven't actually met anyone else, you notice there's a lot of, again, that same, not the exact same, but there's ghouls dressed in like butler kind of gear with these like curly wigs on their heads, and they're all bringing plates of various dishes and food to you all. Not all of which is questionable meat. There's a lot of different delicacies, definitely some mushroom based and whatnot, but you all look like Dhampir, so they certainly offer you a lot of food that looks a little mystery meat-ish, and a lot of wine and drink as well is available, which actually looks like it's just normal wine, but perhaps like fermented from local plants and mushrooms and stuff. And then after what appears to be a appropriate amount of time, one of the powdered wig ghouls goes by a door and kind of rings a little ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling bell, and announces, "The mark has Dorva Grey Suture." And entering the room is an attractive, voluptuous Darakul wearing a deeply cut, elegant ball gown. Her white wig cascades over her shoulders in ringlets and is held with a silver tiara. And not an inch of her body isn't covered with jewelry. And she moves slowly and elegantly, taking you all in with the smile of a shark. And as you, I've been presuming, but presumably you're all sitting down at the table. What do you react to, like the food and everything as this is all put out in front of you?
I know Davros was stuffing his face until she shows up. You know,
Yeah.
remember those Looney Tunes from back in the day where the wolf is like hooting the horn and stomping his feet, and he doesn't do that, but like he stands up, you know, pushes his chair back, stands up, you know, as she comes in, clearly taken aback.
Okay.
Alaric would have picked at his food and found some wine. It's been a while since he's had a drink.
Yeah.
And
this is probably
it's
the most
actually-
food, you all have seen in a long time.
well, Alaric hasn't hit the bottle in a while, and so this is the first alcohol he's had in some time. But definitely would stand up
What in Rome?
and give a bow. And I never thought I'd ever hear attractive Darakul in the same sentence.
No, and you're almost taken aback by this whole. Yeah, it's really throwing you for a loop here. Of course, you probably, most of the Darakul you probably met have been, in service of like the military or have been spies or some kind. This is just a noble woman basically, and this just further legitimizes the fact that you are in a ghoul city. And as she walks in very like slowly and surely, she says, "Well, well. What have we here? You have given my attendants quite the fright, but I must say you are all dashing and just loaded with accoutrement. I must know who you are and why you are calling upon me in my fine establishment here." She moves to sit down at the table.
We bring
Billy
greetings
Buggins,
from a
I'm here to
mutual friend.
destroy everything.
What she meant to say was, "You are gorgeous, and we are glad to be here. I am Davros. It is nice to make your acquaintance, madam." Like hand over her mouth.
Yeah, I saw that.
And Alaric is just doing this little face palm at the other end of the table, remembering that we've met the Queen of Krakovar and all the courtly stuff that experienced. I'm like, oh, this is not going the way I planned.
Yeah, Zaberi wasn't going to drink, but now she grabs the bottle from Alaric.
Takes another big gulp. As I was trying to say, we bring greetings from a mutual friend of ours. And we'll just casually pull out the rock,
Okay.
hold it up. Some names don't need to be named in the open air.
Okay. You kind of, do you just put that on the table? Do you give it to her? Like, how is the...
I just kind of show it to pique her interest,
Okay.
and then slip it back in,
Okay.
saying that we have a friend in common whose name probably should not be discussed in the open air.
Yeah, there's still like wait staff, coming and going and stuff. Her eyes flash a bit, and you do see she kind of has a definite recognition when you flash that token. And she kind of steeples her fingers in front. Says, "Well, flashing around the mark of an old, supposedly dead lord of before the Imperium, if I recall, yes? My, but you are something. You must require something of me, then, no doubt.
Some assistance would be greatly appreciated. We did our mutual friend quite the favor, and in return, he said that you might be able to help us in our endeavors.
And whatever are those endeavors?
Looks around. Is it safe to speak here?
My dear, you came to me.
Mm-hmm.
My staff is all very loyal to me. You
In
may
that case,
speak freely.
in that case, we've been informed that a friend of ours has been taken, brought to the city, and is about to be sacrificed. We would like to stop that sacrifice and leave with our friend, preferably alive.
She leans forward. Who is this friend you speak of?
A duke from one of the surface kingdoms.
You know, there has been greatly increased security here in Vandekhul. The Harvester Legion is more presence here than usual, and that's typically only while the Emperor himself is in town, so I was suspecting that perhaps there was something going on. And I have heard whispers and rumors about the relationship between the High Priest of Vardazane and our own Duke Moretto Lichmark. Y'all can roll an insight check, perhaps. Anybody wants to pay attention, I guess, to her specifically, which...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Davros is paying attention, but not to what she's saying.
That's fair. Totally fair. Lead's insight rolls are a lot better than your getting to the city rolls. You can tell when she specifically mentions Duke Myrtle Lichmark, she seems to have some complex emotions play across her face. She seems to be speaking truths so far that you can tell, but specifically when she mentions the Duke, she seems to be more like she has like a flash of annoyance or frustration or something. She says, well, I've never been one for the religious types, you know. But I believe the Duke's hand is in this directly. Is that what your belief is as well?
Oh, that matches up with what we've been told, yes.
And have you heard of these nasty instigators that are running through the underworld? You see, I've heard of stories of a group of duplicitous creatures. Even further rumors that they could appear as Darakul. And they've been searching for someone in the Imperium and causing all kinds of problems.
next you're going to tell me that they've destroyed avatars of gods and neutralized outposts.
Well, I have heard some rather disturbing news about one of those outposts out there, but they're always having problems in those far reaches. Certainly no danger would come to our own city.
Oh, city here is very well guarded. Very well guarded. I'm sure that nothing untowards could ever possibly happen here.
Yes, well, you see, and you see the wait staff has been coming and going, but you see a lot of them lingering now. And behind her, you see two of her security staff step into the room and kind of close the door behind them. And she says, "You see that Narrowzane, I believe his name was. He was a fine ruler and a fine man in many ways, but rulers, they come and go. And even if he is alive, he has a long way to go before rising again. And the Imperium is mightier than ever, as you can see. And and she slams a fist on the table, I deserve a bigger piece of it. And Duke Moretto would reward me handsomely and return me to his side for handing you over."
Channel divinity, turn undead. Every ghoul in the room turns to dust if they fail a DC 19 wisdom
I would like
save.
all of you who have been ingesting the food and drink to give me Constitution saving throws first,
Oh
please.
no! Oh no!
He's like stops halfway, like, what now?
Exactly. Oh no!
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Okay, Constitution saves.
I don't think that's going to be good enough. We're going to use the inspiration on that one.
I'm hoping this is poison.
Yeah, that's better.
Yes, this is
Yeah,
Constitution.
is this poison?
It is for poison.
Is it poison?
It is for poison.
Oh, it's for. I'm a dwarf. Wait.
Oh,
You get advantage on it.
No.
yeah, Millie just keeps eating like there's nothing.
All right.
Is this against poison?
It is against poison, yes.
Okay, can I save my inspiration then and just use the advantage I would have
Is
had?
that how it works? Yeah, dwarf has just innate advantage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, you might want to use that inspiration though, even with a 15. Shoot. Yeah.
Oh.
You know, bear my inspiration as well. Then.
Yeah. I'll wait until.
Mm.
Ooh, right. Good use.
He's over here just like. Can I hold it?
Coughs up the last like.
Hey, 18.
Okay, look 18. At that inspiration, getting good use of it. So let's see. Let's recount. So Alaric made a 17. Millie you don't care because you're immune to poison. Rye did the inspiration for a 26. Zaberi made a 16, and Davros got the advantage and inspiration to make an 18. All right. So actually, all of you end up making the save in some way or another. Technically, Millie fails, but you feel the effects that there is. You, I guess, detect that there's poison here, but is that monk feature, right? That makes you immune to the poison condition. Yes. So obviously, with that, we can roll for some initiative. But clearly, her face falls when she realizes that none of you actually succumb to the effects of the poison here.
Alaric is now thinking, I'm going to go back and get that staff.
Yeah, it turns out one of the contacts was not very loyal after all.
I'm going to need a Shift Z on this attractive tool, please.
Oh, yeah, I put it on the other map, but I don't know if you can
But that's not too
Yeah,
scary.
the token didn't do. I think I gave it too much juice with my description.
Davros goes, wait a
She
second.
looks like 75.
Ugh, you're disgusting.
Yeah, the imagination
Sorry.
always paints a better picture, doesn't it?
Former elf, at
my
least.
mind had Angelina Jolie, but like ghoulified.
just slight, but like attractive amounts of skin missing, like not like a horrible amount, but like an acceptable amount of. Yeah. We all
that's
got
funny.
Dude, I almost need
Oh my
a new
God.
laptop after that. Wow.
Did you roll for every ghoul individually?
I did. Yes, that's how we roll.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna go to the store. If you got any food groceries, I'll be back when it's my turn.
What did we roll? We rolled a 6. Nice.
6.
Nice.
I'm just looking at the list. It goes off the bottom of my screen when I opened it up.
There you go. All right, we can start some battle music. And yeah, you see the waitstaff are not armed, but of course, as Alaric knows, the ghoul claws are just as nasty. And they appear to have orders to try and take you all down if they can. She doesn't even bother asking for your surrender because she knows that you guys are not going to do that. So number 2 will attack at Rye with some claws. But a -1 ends up bumping into the table and crashing silverware everywhere. And we've got number 5 will attack Millie with claws with a 17 to hit. She's shaking her head. That's a negative.
Nope, that is a miss.
All right, bring up the deflection on that one. Davros the Wizard, pulling some of Sovereign's energy with making the Wizard get early initiative somehow. You are, despite you being infatuated with the ghoul and infatuated with the food, you are the first to react after a few ghouls take a few swipes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Whoa. Well, he's not a fireball type of wizard.
I didn't say how big the room was. I said I cast fireball.
So there's a ghoul right to his right. He does not like that ghoul being there.
I really wish I had a token because I love the image of ghouls dressed in like fine butlery and
Yeah.
the wigs and everything. But you'll just have to use your imagination for that one.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I think this is it. Yeah, this is a spell attack, range spell attack. So this will be at disadvantage because they're right next to me. And he wouldn't do anything crazy in here. He really wouldn't.
It's such a nice dining room.
Exactly. Like, he's kind of a loop goblin, so he wants to save the dinnerware and plateware.
I meant to put better lighting in here. Give me a second to update the lighting. Some of you are in the dark, aren't you?
And we're pretty sure that these ghouls are immune to necrotic damage, right?
You would know at your level, Davros, that a lot of undead tend to be immune to poison, but necrotic, it would probably be, that's more reserved for maybe specifically magical type undead, or perhaps incorporeal undead. You would know it at the very least, like regular ghouls, would necrotic's definitely fine for them.
Okay. Well, he's going to kind of look around in the air for a little bit. Oh, sweet. He's going to find the ley line. He says, there's one right here. Pull it down. Again, it's like that, kind of like that rainbow aurora effect, kind of hued in his hands. I get a number 6 on the table. And a 6 for the strong effect is a creature that takes acid or fire damage from your spell takes an additional 3d6 damage of the same type at the start of its next turn. So I need to do acid or fire, which I don't think I have anything that does acid or fire. Oh, no, I got create bonfire.
As a wizard? Come on, yeah.
Yeah, I got create bonfire. And that's a cantrip too. Okay, so we'll do that. He says,
fun.
hot feet. And it's going to create bonfire.
Dance.
Damn, it's like cantrip doing 3d8.
Yeah. Roll 2 1s on that.
Yeah. I think we've seen Rise cast this before, so I think this is somewhat familiar, right? Or am I thinking of something else?
I haven't done cast bonfire.
Okay, maybe it's something else I'm thinking of. Creature, and when you cast a spell, it's going to dex saving throw. Cool, dex, go. Not good enough. God, y'all's D8s are insane at this level.
All right, so yeah, he takes that's 10 damage, and then at the end of his next turn, he'll take an additional 3d6. I think it said, yeah, an additional 3d6
Okay.
at the end of the next
You
turn.
might have to remind me, but I'll put a little thing on there.
Yeah. He has movement. He's going to move. I'm going to select him. It's 5. He will provoke attack of opportunity
Okay.
by moving out of the space. Aha, no, I'm a 15.
Yeah.
And he's going to like squish himself into this corner.
All right. You get up abruptly from the table, clattering dishes and shit everywhere.
Meanwhile, holding the fire underneath him.
Yeah. Just start a fire in a corner and run away. All right, Alaric.
Anything special I need to do to stand up on this table? Like step on my seat and walk up on the table?
Yeah, I'm not gonna require any checks or anything. Just
Okay.
just a little bit of movement, I think, to get up there.
Yep. I want to put myself roughly in the middle of this room.
Okay.
Stand next to my boy Rye.
Clattering all the tables and knocking things aside.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to do Channel Divinity, Turn Undead. It's a DC 19. I believe it's a Wisdom save. And every
30 feet.
CR2 or level creature in the room turns to dust if they fail.
That's right. We've seen this before. Wisdom save. All right.
I got to go up to a level. It's now CR. It's CR2, not just 1.
That's how your DC is so high. It's like 2 higher than mine, and we're the same level.
I have a good stat, and I also have an Amulet of the Devout that bumps it. That's one of my attuned items.
God, I rolled
Is it +2?
extra bad on the
Crazy.
saves too.
Okay. Those are bad rolls.
Those are bad rolls. Yep. I had a
Those are
+0.
amazing
Wow.
rolls.
The odds weren't great. All right, all the ghouls are gonna get melted from this. Is it not?
And if
mentioned?
there are any, it's within 30 feet.
Yeah.
And that includes anybody outside the room. So if there's any staff
Instantly serve challenges of 2
outside,
below.
I don't have to see them. So it's anybody on this part of the boat.
Anybody within 30 feet. I think the room is
Above
almost
deck.
that big.
That's why I stepped in the middle of the room
15, 20, 25, 30.
to hit the
yeah.
Darkle at the end too.
Yeah. Just this zone goes. Is this? What's the like visual or audio that's involved in this?
It's just a quick little pulse of light as he reaches in and pulls out his amulet of Wotan.
Wisdom. Wow, she actually made it. 18, then 2 guards are wisdom saves. He did not. So this doesn't do damage, right? This is the one that like fears him. Turn creature within its turn.
If they're CR2 or less, they're dust. If they're above, then they have to move away from me.
Yeah, the ghouls all get absolutely melted. They get obliterated for all the wait staff, basically. The guards do not, but they are affected by the turn undead, and then she's the only one that actually just stands firm. And does actually a little flash of fear, well, a bigger flash than that when she sees all of her like wait staff get melted. Turn creature spends its turn trying to move as far away from you as it can and can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. Can't take reactions. Can use only the dash action. There's no one to move the creature. Can use the dodge action.
Her two guards are going to have to stay away from me and then start moving
Yeah,
away.
they don't get to repeat the save. Am I reading that correctly? It just lasts for a minute?
Mhm.
Oh, that's brutal.
So they're out of the fight until...
Yeah.
That's
She probably
fine,
doesn't
yep.
quite notice that yet, but they definitely look like they are like shielding their eyes and like looking for the exit. Millie.
Okay, Millie is gonna finish up chewing the food that she currently has in her mouth. She's
This is
going to
great.
take one
Extra
more
spicy.
bite though, and then she's going to swig some wine, and then she's going to move up towards the voluptuous ghoul woman on the table. And so she's like, since Millie's so short, she's like looking at the woman right in the eyes though. And she says, I told you, I'm Millie Muggins. I'm here to destroy everything. You could have been on my good side, but you decided to be on my bad side. Now you're gonna get what's coming to ya. And she pulls
I
out
totally forgot
her
about this.
sword.
Hang on, I gotta. Sorry, I never get to use this because I forget. They're all supposed to have advantage against that effect within 30 feet of her. 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. I doubt it's gonna make much of a difference, but I'll still use most of my saves. So if the first one had advantage, that one dies. The second one had advantage, that one dies. The third one had advantage, that one dies. So let me do the fourth one with advantage. Actually, no, I'll do it with advantage because we'll count all the other rolls. Fourth one dies, fifth one dies, sixth one dies. And then we'll do it with the Imperial Ghouls. So we'll treat the first one as a fail, and then we'll roll with an advantage for the second one. Alright, everything is normal. It didn't actually matter, all that advantage. Go ahead, sorry, continue.
Okay, so Millie is going to take some swipes with her sword first. 2 of those, just really quickly at her. I don't think either of them hit.
No, they
and she's
don't.
gonna say,
Hold a 4 and a 1.
She's gonna say then, oh crap.
She's
I
not
thought
armed.
That would hit you.
Yeah, she's not actually armored, but a 12 is still not quite good enough.
So she's going to use a bonus action to do Flurry of Blows and do 2 punches. 1 and 2.
Those definitely hit.
So she does 9 and 5 damage, so a total of 14.
Okay.
And then she is going to, because she has the agile feat, or mobile feat, she's going to just run away.
Okay.
And stay over here.
When you struck her, you realize that, well, A, she's not wearing armor like most Darkwool you fought are, but she does appear to have the, like, the fortitude of a normal Darkwool as well. So it did deal damage, but she's pretty hardy, but she's not happy that most of her staff got murderized. Rye.
Gonna cast Power Word Pain.
Oh no.
So that does. I don't know why I gave that up there. Yeah, that's right. That does the 17 right now.
Okay.
And then she has to roll at the start of her turn to take the 40-10 damage again.
Turn. Okay.
Yep.
So she just starts
Until they succeed.
it's like a curse, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, and the word is just traitor.
Okay. She flinches. You can tell it's like searing through her. It's like. And unfortunately, her guards have to take off running. Right? They use their action to literally basically like the fear spell without a save, which is terrible. So that one takes off running, which now she's starting to notice that for sure. And she picks up a knife and lunges at you, Alaric, with not so much any more grace, just as you would like a feral ghoul almost.
She takes damage again first.
Yes, she does. To start. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, con.
So 18.
Well, she does get to make a save, right? At the start of each turn, the creature must make a Constitution save or take another 40-10 force damage. I might make one save, Rye. You don't know.
Hey.
I did not. Narrator voice. He couldn't make a save. All right, she takes another 18 damage, so she's looking pretty bad. And now you really think it's all the like outward manifestation of nobility has just melted away to pure like just ravaged ghoul mode. And even though you're the one that did the immediate damage, she's got eyes on Alaric for doing the giant turning undead thing. She definitely did not expect one of you, Darakul, to suddenly unleash like holy powers. So she'll first try to hit you with a claw attack, Alaric, with a dirty 20.
And I will pop my Shadow Aegis and say, I don't think so.
All right, +2 to AC and 5 temporary hit points. Then she will try to stab you.
Yeah, it takes me to 21 AC.
Okay. She'll try to stab you with the knife she grabbed. 19's not quite gonna hit, and then she will lean in and try to bite at you. Decent rolls, but not good enough. So unfortunately, miss that flurry. Zaberi.
Zaberi's gonna look at Alaric and go, alive?
No.
Okay. It's gonna step. This is just for fun's sake. Step back here. Run, jump. Hop over. Boink. A little fun owl action. Excuse me, bitch. And then let's go down. Has she been hit? She's pretty hurt, right?
Oh yeah. She's been.
Okay.
Yes.
It's fine.
Millie punched her in the face a couple times, and then Rye has an ongoing power pain curse upon her.
Okay. So with advantage, 27 to hit.
Yep.
10 damage.
Okay, she's looking bloodied for sure.
Let's keep going. 23 to hit. 15 damage.
Okay.
Still standing.
Yeah, but her eyes go wide, and if you will let me react in this way, she will kind of throw her hands up and drop the knife, and basically, she's stop this! I surrender.
Like, okay, so she's standing here.
Gold.
This lady's in front of me, freaking out.
Jewels, gems, whatever you want.
Okay.
Yep.
Just like going down for like the third hit, and kind of like, so I'm here, she's here, Alaric's on the other side. She like tilts her head so she can see Alaric, and she goes,
You see Davros in the back going.
So, okay. Anyway, I'm thinking of RoboCop when RoboCop pushes the bad guy out the window at the end, and one guy turns like, it's so great. It's so awesome.
No, wait, alive. Thumbs up means alive.
Wait, what? Wait.
Dead or alive? You're
no.
coming with me.
20 hit for 11.
Yep, that'll hit. And at this point, she's definitely freaking out.
Not dead yet.
Not dead yet, though.
Oh my god. Okay, I've been like not doing this the evil way. Okay, that's fine. Let's do it evil way.
Now I'm gonna turn it up a notch.
Yeah, and then we're gonna butt end her with the fourth. Normal. 15.
Yes.
Wait, why is it
She's
only
not
rolling
armored.
once? I have to roll twice. It didn't roll. Sorry, my bad. It's gonna be 15 to hit.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so 20 damage.
Okay, with the butt end, you can just crack her, basically swinging her head around. Yeah, and she hits the table hard. Yeah. So she's down. The ghouls are all dust. There's an Imperial Ghoul here, which is about to take his turn, but he's still frightened by the turn undead effect, so he's like taking off running for the next minute. Right? Is that
sorry.
how the mechanics work?
You have another 5 feet of motion, so I'm just going to step over there.
Okay.
And you know what? Action surge.
Must spend its
Wait,
turn.
if I attack it, it'll stop running away, right?
Well, that's what I'm trying to remember how the rules of this work. I
He would
don't
get
think
another
so.
Save. He gets another save.
Wait, that's fine. I'll stay there then. You can run.
Dash, try to escape you.
Hey, do we want these guys to be able to run?
Tell everyone what you saw.
Yeah.
No, I would love to have all these guys neutralized. They
Okay,
can't.
hold on,
We can't have any witnesses.
So one conundrum is you remember your bodyguards actually stayed back at the docks, and you imagine that was at least 30 feet away. You're on a ship, right? And you're not building in a ship. And these guys are like running out of these armored guards are running out of this building, presumably scared out of their mind.
Okay. I take one more step and let's action surge.
Okay.
Oh god, how does this even work?
3 more attacks.
Guess so.
You've got
Give
you
me
get
that.
your extra attack again. Or your multi. What do they call the player one?
These guys are armored and shit.
These
Mhm.
guys are, yeah. These were the security officers. They did not
Okay.
go down. They appear to be a lot stronger. They basically look like she's got fucking like off-duty cops or something. Like basically a security here.
Okay, I really want to actually hit this guy, so I'm taking off GWM.
Oh,
Wait. Sorry, the -5 doesn't count, so 31. My bad.
Yes, that'll hit.
So 15 damage,
Oh, my
and I'm
goodness.
gonna attack on a trip attack, so strength save. These from the guy.
Strength save. I can do that.
Oh, for God's
Oh,
Jesus
it turns out I
mercy.
can make a save, but only
Can
against
make a
Zaberi.
save. Still 22 damage altogether. She's gonna hit again.
Oh yeah, extra 7.
I apologize for this taking so much time.
No, go ahead.
16 is a hit, if I remember
It's
correctly.
level 12.
No,
combat,
not on these
baby.
guys.
There's no such thing as a short turn anymore.
That's fair. 16 is a miss, though, right?
16 is a hit, actually.
Yay. 11 to hit. Can I do this more than once? Yes. Same thing. Another saves, please.
Strength.
Yeah. That's a fail. So he...
Knocked down.
11 plus 6 is 17 damage, and he's prone. And I will do it again. I'm going to Great Weapon Master this one because I have advantage. Come on, Jason. There we go. A 9 is probably going to miss. Wait, no. 17.
Advantage because he's prone. Yep. 17
Yep.
will just hit. Yeah.
24 damage.
Oh my lord.
Okay, level 11 fighter.
Yep, that's over 60 damage, I think, by my calculations.
Okay, that's... Then my turns.
All right, that one is very nearly actually just like on the ground, just blood pooling out at this point, and absolutely just now has to like stand up with half its movement and then take the dash action to get away, which triggers an attack of opportunity from you.
I'm back.
But he took damage, so the turn of the dead's gone, right?
I don't see that under the turn.
It's the last
pretty
line
sure,
of the
yeah.
first paragraph. Turn for 1 minute or until it takes any damage.
Oh, I just missed that. Okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, you're right. Well, the fucking his boss went down.
You still might want to.
Yeah, his boss went down. He saw like all the weight stuff get vaporized, and then Zaberi did like 60 some damage. So yeah, he stands up and just absolutely uses the disengage action to. He didn't even try to like talk or run away. He's just, or he doesn't try to talk or do anything like that. But he just takes the disengage action and walks swiftly out the door to try and escape all of you with his action. Which Zaberi, I think you have Polar Masters. Does that fuck up disengage?
I'm checking right now.
Okay.
God knows. Nope. No, that's Sentinel. This is for Polar Masters for things
Oh.
coming at me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I don't think I can really take you guys out of combat necessarily because you're kind of in a tense situation right now. So let's see what you guys end up doing with Davros your turn. But
Okay.
essentially, these two guys are not on the map anymore. Blame your DM for not bringing a big enough map. But they have spilled out onto the outside. One of them no longer frightened, but
we need a
very
bigger
wounded.
boat.
Good.
Saying we needed a bigger boat.
Ah, that is exactly the situation here.
I can't see him. Did they close the door behind them?
No, you can see them. They're just not.
Can I see both of them or just one?
How far did the other? The other one actually probably went really far, right? Because they used the dash action, so he probably moved 60 feet. So you probably can't. You can only see probably the wounded one. If you were to move up to the doorway, then I would let you target the other one that moved further.
Okay. Yeah, Davros is slow, so he can't go too far. But he is going to reach into his pocket, pulls out a pebble, kind of hefts it, and he throws it at him.
Out throw a rock. 25 will hit. Yep.
What? That is terrible damage.
It's a rock.
But at least on a hit, it takes. There's also some stuff that happens too.
3d6 6 on a 3d6.
Yep. And the next time he makes an attack roll, the ability check, he has to subtract 4 from it.
Okay.
Plink him in the back of the head.
Iron sliver.
And I think that's it. Yeah, he just throws a rock at him.
Alaric.
Oh, you muted.
Yep.
Bonus action, keep up Shadow Aegis. And then we'll move. Nice work, Severity. Get out there and see if I can get how close I can get.
Okay, so from there, you're probably almost within melee range of the very wounded one, and you can see the one who you turned is still, in the middle of running, and has basically reached the gangplank, and is fixing to run across that gangplank to reach the city, which thankfully it's not quite being seen yet that he's. I mean, he is kind of running as fast as he can, but he's not screaming and hollering or anything yet. So, but you imagine he's probably going to draw attention pretty soon. Mainly with your the bodyguards you left back at the gangplank.
Wow. No way I can actually get to him, right?
Do you need to be within melee range?
Yeah.
How far did you already move? How much movement do you have left, I guess? 10, 15, 20, 20. Yeah, you used almost all your movement, I think, to get here.
Yep.
Yeah, I would probably say that's another, at least 30 feet.
You dash to get it within range.
No, I can call out to all undead.
Okay.
And I will call out to all undead and tell them to freeze. Or halt would be a better term.
Okay. Speak a one-word command. All undead creatures you can see within range. Any turn with a wisdom save or follow the command on its next turn. Alright, so the command is halt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what was he? Imperial Ghoul was a Wisdom save. No longer has. Actually, Imperial Ghouls have this too. Damn.
And that's not turning, so.
Oh, that's true. It's not turning. Yeah, it's just a spell.
Mhm.
Wisdom is no good. All right, so he will halt, and then the gassed bodyguards are also within 60 feet.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a choose one, right? It's just all undead.
Yep.
All right, so they will, which they're not moving anyway, but they will have to follow that. I don't see. Actually, don't see what the gas are. I can't imagine they're much better than the ghouls. So we'll just use the ghoul. Yep, they're definitely failing as well. So everybody stand still from your screaming. It does appear that you don't see any other ghouls around. You don't know if they got vaporized due to the proximity of your initial turn on dead, or if they're just further away from the ship than you can see. But you don't see anybody except the two Imperial ghouls that have left this battlefield, and then the two ghasts by the gangplank.
And I will turn to call back into the room.
I guess the other one has to.
They're all frozen in place. Finish them off.
Okay, I forgot. Actually, technically, the other Imperial ghoul, the wounded one, actually did make the save. So he's not following the command of halt. He was the one that was just fleeing on his own. All right, Millie.
Oh, so I'm standing next to him.
You're probably within 10 feet of him. He didn't make it very far.
So I have 5 more feet of movement.
Okay,
I would
yeah,
love
you
to
can close in.
down. Yep.
So the ghoul that ran away 60 feet already, that one is halted, or is
Yes.
the injured one halted?
The one which is much
Okay.
further and is turned is halted, yes.
Okay, so I think if I measured this out right. Okay, so Millie can move her normal speed 10 feet out the door, and then she's going to take the dash action so she can run right up to that ghoul that is halted, because she has a 60-foot movement speed.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to run up to that ghoul. Does it take an action to use the Hat of Disguise?
I don't think so.
That's a good question.
Oh, good. Then as she's running up, she is going to grab the dress, first of all, of the woman that's... Well, she can't really take it off her yet. So she's going to take note of the dress
Run
that the
and
woman's
strip
wearing.
a corpse.
That's a
And
free
she
action.
is going
Interact
to-
with an object, right?
Sure.
Yeah, she is going to just make herself look like the woman, and she's going to run out and say, "Stop those ghouls! They're trying to kill the Imperium!"
It says it
And,
does take an
then
action, but as a monk, you can take dash as a bonus action, can't you?
I can, in fact. So I will take the
on the
bonus
wind.
action dash, and she is going to use her action to change into the woman. And she's going to run up to the farthest ghoul still and just stand there, kind of smile and wink at him for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely turn to the armored ghasts that were following us and say, These ghouls were trying to kill me and all of my men. They killed most of them. And then she's going to yeah, that's going to be her turn though.
Okay. The effect is pretty immediate because they're not even like trying to look at you closely. They already see the other ones, running out of there and fleeing. So that kind of helps sell it. And then when you come out dressed like that, and then having immediately seen how she acted, you can do a reasonable facsimile, at least in the moment. But it's not a calm situation, so they definitely pick up on that. You're specifically trying to target the gas though at the gangplank, right? Getting them involved, since obviously the others know. Yeah.
And are those gas frozen as well?
They have been halted, yes.
Okay.
Yes, which means they, their next turn, basically they have to...
Halt.
Yeah,
Freeze.
just not move, yeah.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, that appears to have sunken into them for sure. That's also just clever as hell, so I will give you a point of inspiration. the emergency disguise maneuver. Rye.
Going to move up here and finger bolt the injured one next to a finger bolt, firebolt the
Finger guns.
the injured one right there.
Yeah. 21 will hit for 24 fire damage. Good lord.
Ooh, look at that.
That was a big fire bolt. What is happening?
Big time roll right there.
Yeah, with a giant 20, that probably surprises even you. Just a giant ball of fire comes out of your hand and slams into that ghoul and goes down.
And Alaric gives Rye the look of, like he does when I do Memento Mori, I give him the look back with a firebolt of,
Very nice. That was a big deal fucking roll right there. Sometimes. Yeah, so that one goes down. So now you're left with 3 ghouls on the board. There's the one that was turned and halted, the Imperial security officer, and then the 2 ghasts, which are halted and seem to be believing that Millie at least is Dorva. And it was okay. So now it's the ghoul's turn, but he's halted. So his turn, that effect, I guess, expires, but he's still turned, so he still looks like he just wants to keep running, right? Okay. Oops, she's dead. Zaberi.
Oh, you're muted.
yeah, he's just going to freeze from wherever he's at. So if he ever
Right.
if I lose concentration, he'll if I
keep
lose
running.
concentration within a minute, he'll just start running again.
Okay.
How far away are the bad guys?
From you, they're about 40, but they're 30 feet once you get to here.
Okay. Is anybody within like 5 feet range of them? Of our guys?
Yeah, Millie's right up.
Millie's right. Yeah,
up
Millie.
next to him.
Millie disguised herself as Dorva and ran up and yelled. So she is. I think are you right next to the armored ghoul? About yeah.
Yep, right up next to him.
Okay.
So then, if he does end up moving, I can use Sentinel to make it so he can't move.
Nice.
Okay. We're gonna. Let's use all the points. So can I see them?
Yes. My
When I
apologies
move
about
there?
the limitations of the map, but yes,
It's fine. It's fine. We're what's the word for it?
we're off-roading it.
It's the acronym for like playing without a map again.
Theater of the mind.
Theater of the mind.
TOTM.
We're
TOTMing it.
We're totems here. Yep.
Toteming it.
We're
Okay,
toteming
I'm going to get around there. Take my attack action and forego one of my attacks and use bonus actions to direct one of my companions to strike. So, really take a good sword swipe or something.
Well, here's
cool.
the awkward part, though. She's currently. How do you want to work that? 'Cause she's disguised as Dorva. I don't know what you're.
Oh. So are we
Maybe
killing
an
these things or what are we
armor
doing?
strike
I'm a
makes
little
sense.
bit confused as to what the plan is right
Yeah. Well, there is no plan. Everything broke. Everybody.
No
Okay.
no witnesses is the plan. No
Plan
witnesses.
is wing it.
Okay, well, I command you to do it, and you can make your mind up if you want to or not.
Yeah. It's up to you, Millie. I mean, if you want, you could try and make it, or however you want to do it, basically. But
Yeah, she's going to use an unarmed strike, and she's going to make it look like she's clawing at them.
okay.
And
You would have advantage
Just in
because they're
case-
frozen.
oh yeah, advantage. So does a 21 hit?
Yes.
Oops.
So she does 7 with that.
Okay.
Okay, so we're doing this. Okay. And I'm gonna move off the board to
Yep.
probably within 20 feet. I think that's possible.
Yep.
Okay. and then start hucking some axes here. Not
That axe
one.
flies off into the sea.
And last one, can we roll higher than
And you
one,
just
please?
sea legs.
Oh my god. Okay, forget it.
That one also flies off into the sea.
Never mind.
Here, we'll
We got
put
20 of
you like. Oh, there's no fucking light out here though. That's annoying.
You like
It's
extend
better than
the
hitting
map.
the two
Is there more
gaps.
room above this on the map?
I can't really extend the top of the map, unfortunately. You can extend
Okay.
like the right
Okay.
and down side, but it would require me to move, and dynamic lighting would fuck up and all that. So, pretend this grassy backyard is at the end of the ship.
Okay. Yeah, that's my. I'll move within 10 feet, I guess.
All right, Davros.
So it's like here-ish.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I feel like Davros is kind of huffing and puffing from running that 25 feet. He's like, kind of getting too old for this. How far away are they all now?
From this point here, or like where Alaric is about 30 feet to the turned officer ghoul, and then it's probably about a 10-foot gangplank to get to the gas bodyguards from there.
Okay, so they're about 60 away. Okay. Yeah, he's going to be like, yeah. I don't like running. He's going to
Especially
hold
after
up
just
his
eating
fingers
like
and-
that. Like, man.
Yeah, like it's not good. So instead, he is going to cast some magic missiles instead. He's going to aim at.
You would need to get closer to even be able to see them, though. Like, you're deep in this building, so to get line of sight, yeah, I'm gonna make your ass move.
He doesn't want to move though. He's tired.
Well, then you can't see anybody. You can finish the meal. It's only slightly poisoned.
Yeah, he coughs and hacks and fine. 10. He's like bent over.
Yeah, you can do it under great protest for sure.
Yeah, he's bent over, just huffing and puffing. Is this better?
Yes. Yeah, I will let you
Okay.
target from there.
Okay. He is going to. So, level 1 that you do it 3 times first. 1, 2, 3. This is all going
Is it
to
3 or 4 times.
3 times for level 1, but he is going to upcast it a little bit.
Gotcha.
Oh, I probably should have almost forgot the channel A line too. Yep, gets it. Gets an 8. What's an 8? I don't know what an 8 is.
8's great.
8 is
16 more missiles.
you can choose to exclude any creature you can see from the area of your spell. It's a single target, so it doesn't do anything. Sometimes it's good, sometimes nothing happens. So this is all going to the one that's the farthest away.
It's like the Final Fantasy character that has like the slot machine effect or some kind of like just random ass thing going off whenever it's your turn, basically.
No, actually, no. This is going to be the one that's closest, that has the most damage so far. I think that's the one that Millie is standing next to that just chopped.
Yep.
Okay. So 3 into that one. So that's 1, 2, 3, and he's going to cast this as a level 3. So I get 2 more.
Okay.
1 more and 2 more. So that's all together. That's 5, 8, 11, 15, 19.
Okay, you see a volley of missiles come out and slam into that. That ghoul is now getting a little damaged.
All right, and I think that's all he can do. Yep, that's it.
All right, Alaric, the one near you has gone down, and then you've got the armored ghoul who's now been peppered by missiles.
And is he within 30 feet of me?
Yes, just about 30 feet.
So I'm just going to walk up to him, pull out the rapier, and attempt to plunge the rapier deep into this guy's back.
Definitely hits. 28. 14.
Yep. I'm not going to use a channel divinity on him. He's not
Okay.
worth it.
Yeah, and he's looking pretty bloodied at this point. Millie.
Okay, Millie is going to just unleash with unarmed attacks on this guy. And she's not going to be pretty about it anymore. She's going to try to look like the part of a ghoul and just go all feral on this thing. 1, 2.
Oh dear.
Missed with both of those. But then she's going to bonus action.
Would you give
flurry of
advantage for
blows
this?
for another
It's still
2.
frozen.
Oh,
Would
is
you
she
still
still
get
frozen?
advantage? Command Undead lasts until I lose concentration.
But they're not like stunned or anything, right? Let's see. Any target must succeed
He's
on a wisdom
halted.
for all the command on its next turn. The spell has no effect on the target. If the target living does Linger's command is directly harmful to it. Yeah, so it's not moving, but it's not. I don't think it has the stunned condition.
Okay.
Because they're pretty clear whenever they have the condition. It's listed in the spell.
You got it. Well, I'm going to still do the flurry of blows. So that's 1 for 11, and the second attack does a 16 hit.
It does just hit. Yep.
And another 9 damage there.
All right. This ghoul looks like he's almost done for. Coughing up blood and just like unable to move.
No.
The gassed bodyguards are
Oh, and
now
I'm going
very.
to use.
Go ahead.
I'm going to use one more key point on that
I was like,
last
speaking
hit
of being stunned, I can actually
to try
do
to
that.
stun it. So the DC for that is my. Would that be my wisdom stat that it's based on?
Sure.
Right. For
Like,
monks, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. It should still be
Huh?
8 plus
Okay.
proficiency plus
wisdom.
your wisdom for yours. for
So
your,
it's going to be DC 16 then.
It's a Constitution save. I'll be damned. Made a save.
Dang it.
The ties are be turned now. So I was saying the gas are now a little confused because you'd come out kind of yelling about we're being attacked in there, and then the other Derrickle were kind of selling it. But then you just started attacking one of the guards, still disguised presumably as Dorva.
Oh, I meant the ghouls that were running away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been attacking
said
them, but
I was-
I thought the whole deception was done for your bodyguard gas, which are still a bit further away.
The bodyguard gas. I was trying to convince them that
Yes.
that these ghouls are running away because they were trying to
Oh.
betray the Imperium or something.
Okay, I got you. So we're trying to paint the. Okay, so I misunderstood. I thought you said like, oh, the people that came in are killing us and all that, but you're saying that these two guys specifically were just trying to get away and doing something bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so on their turn, they would honestly probably go to your authority pretty quickly because of the tense situation and would come up and
They're
basically.
halted though, right?
Yeah, I guess they. So that also just. I need to fucking nerf your character. I swear to God. This is a command that just lasts while you concentrate without a save.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
I
So
can,
yes, they
I
are
can
halted.
definitely- it's a 3rd level spell. So
They are, yeah, so they're still halted. So nobody's doing anything on their end. All right, so Rye, it is your turn, and it is as I mentioned, the Imperial Ghoul is almost destroyed.
I run up there in clear view of the bodyguards for her.
Yeah.
Go, I will help you against that ghoul that turned against you, and then firebolt said ghoul 23 for 15 fire.
Yes, and that with a flourish of a large fireball, not quite as large as your earlier one. That one nicely crisps and melts to the ground. And at that point, the the gas, I guess, would still be confused about why they can't move. Because they definitely... Well, I guess they did see Alaric do that. So you'd have some explaining there. Presumably you just got... they got caught in the crossfire. But they're halted at the moment. So I'm going to take you guys out of combat. Because they do feel like they're kind of buying what Millie and Rye are selling right now.
I would just walk up behind them, put my hands on their shoulders, and go, gentlemen, you did an amazing job blocking that gangplank so we could stop these traitors. Thank you very much. We really appreciate your hard work. We're going to go back in, finish the business that we have. If you just want to chill out here, situation's under control. Thank you very much for your support.
That sounded very Men in Black.
Yeah. Are you gonna blinky thing me? Did you blinky thing me?
Time to pull out the neuralizer.
Yeah, the neural. God, I haven't seen them in forever.
And as soon as I put my hands on them, I'll drop concentration on it so they can move.
Okay. Yeah, they look at each other and they're like, "What the fuck are these guys?" Yeah, you think they're gonna start fomenting like some theories. You guys are like secret agents or something. But they both seem to, out of maybe partially fear now, they both kind of agree and are kind of mollified, and they both make sure to ask the Marquess if she's okay and all that. Definitely deferring to her.
Thank you. I am fine. You are very loyal subjects to the Imperium, and we will be rewarding you very quickly here. And she walks back inside and she goes, "Hey, I got some fancy new duds."
Yeah, meanwhile, I think Davros is like rolling her up in like the tablecloth, being like, "Yeah, this is really undignified, but we can't have this lady just half naked in the middle of the floor. You shouldn't even do that to the
Sure, you did. Yeah, you did. I mentioned it's the video game thing.
Push her off the back.
It's like Skyrim or something where you loot or Baldur's Gate where you take all the uniform and they're just like a naked like Barbie doll laying on the table. Just stripped them in one motion.
Oh no!
So we have a boat to investigate.
Yeah, you can especially with Dwarva, you all can end up helping yourself if you want to some riches, some ill-gotten riches.
You said the dinnerware was pretty nice. You know, the forks were pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, everything's really nice here. Yeah, for sure.
Because
totally
Davros is
taking that
he's like,
dress,
"Ooh,
too."
this is a nice one."
Yeah.
Okay.
And because you basically cleared the ship, I would give you all the chance to short rest. I don't think anybody actually took any damage, but you can get your short rest resources back for sure. And help yourself to the equivalent of, let's say, 400 gold pieces worth of stuff. We can just translate that to 400 gold.
Okay.
But yeah, it's all, some of it is probably actual currency, but a lot of it's just, you're ripping paintings off the wall and the nice silverware.
And Millie is
He's literally going like, "Okay, that can go in the
stuffing her
living
purse
room.
full of food.
That can go in the kitchen."
Yeah, you've got like all the breadsticks and everything.
Actually, I was supposed to be going to a dinner party. That's probably over by now, but I can apologize. What do you guys think? You think this plate might be good as like a table warmer?
What about this bone candelabra? It's got kind of a spooky theme to it. But,
all the way from the
this is
Bone
real
Empire, wherever this place is. They don't got this where I come from.
Yeah.
I can see
And
Davros
Oh,
forgetting
Bon's
that the
gonna
food is
love
poisoned.
this boat.
Yeah, he just takes the food for later.
No.
No, it's back.
Hang on a second.
No, wait, we're all dwarves back home though. Like, we should be okay. It's kind of spicy, But
And somewhere in the back corner of this boat, "Hey, Bon, I think we got you another boat."
Bon is gonna be so fucking happy to get this giant pleasure barge boat. Holy shit.
Oh, we should start calling him Commodore Bon.
Oh, that's downgrade from Lord Emperor. But
Get him
I
one
feel
of
like
those.
the two guards on the dock are just like going to watch the plane get pulled up, and then it's just sails off.
It just
They're
goes
just like,
off.
"Wait, what?"
What just happened? Did they just steal that from Outrunners? Yeah, so you're going to enjoy a short rest here. You've still got your gas bodyguards who appear now to be a little unnerved by you all. And you can regroup a little bit and then presumably check out your other contacts nearby, but I think that is definitely going to do it for this session of Empire of the Ghouls. Thank you to Christopher, Jason, Marcus, Morgan, and Stan for playing. And thank you to all the patrons for helping make these sessions happen. Shouts to Platinum patrons: Joe, Will, Thomas, Stan, Brennan, Zenicider, Eclectic, Role Plural, Christopher, Corey, Big Nut, John F, John L, Nathan, K, Chris, Counter, Andrew, The Reldrin, Stephanie, Jason, Amant, Lumpy Spuds, Warden, Harold, Unimona, LLC, Tom, They're Eating the Dogs, Caleb, Marcus, Howard, and Snuggy. And gold patrons: RPG Papergrams, Pretty Boy, and Yuma, Death Lizard Lounge, Jerome, Nathan, Fasica, Tortoise, Scott, Rufus, Jerry, Glenn, and Mark. Thank you all very much for your support. We hope to see you with our next patron game.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
This is definitely the music to be playing during the dinner party, too. Even during the combat, it was playing this music.
See, I don't hear any music.
Oh, no.
I was like, I'm
It's
on a
lost.
different computer, so we're all just sitting here not listening to anything. Like, very funny.